Chapter 22. Grandpa Jia, he's my fourth brother. If he doesn't have enough money, I'll pay for it. Li Yao looked at Jia Guyun and said with a smile. Brat, why didn't you tell me in advance? We're family, why are you still fighting over it? I don't want it anymore. Jia Guyun looked at Jia Yuan and scolded loudly. Grandpa, you should get what you want. Fourth brother is not sensible, don't lower yourself to his level. We'll pay 20 million, and your grandson will get this painting for you. Jia Yuan stood up and shouted loudly. Damn, second brother, what are you doing? Guopai thought in his heart and used the mind-reading technique on Jia Yuan. My good fourth brother, why don't you give this painting to this old man first? At worst, I'll steal it for you after the old man brings it home. I have to buy something for the old man. That wine is going to cost over 100 million. You can't expect me to bid for that wine for the old man, right? Jia Yuan's thoughts appeared in Guopau's mind. Wei, this painting will be ours sooner or later. Let the old man look at it for a few days. Guopai said with a smile. Bad guy, you can make the decision. If you can't, you can write a few for me. When I have time, I'll take you to see the master. I believe the master will be surprised. Murong Wei said with a smile. Guopai nodded and then stood up and said, Grandpa, I didn't know you had this hobby, so I'll give this painting to you. You don't have to pay for it, my second brother will pay for it. If you want other words, I'll find time to copy a few for you. The first two sentences were better. The painting was given to the old man, and Jia Yuan would pay for it. However, the old man heard the last sentence and felt that he was scolding himself. You're the one who doesn't learn martial arts in Wu Castle, and you want to copy a few for me? Do you really think I don't know anything about calligraphy? Of course, Guopai didn't know what the old man was thinking. Yes, let's bid for this painting. I'll pay for it, I must pay for it. I promised Grandpa that we'll do what we say. Jia Yuan quickly said. 20 million. Is there anyone higher? Lin Shuang noticed that old Master Jia's face did not look too happy. It was better to settle the matter at hand first. 20 million. This painting belongs to Grandpa Jia. Thank you for your contribution to the charity auction. As soon as Lin Shuang finished speaking, the audience burst into thunderous applause. She was the richest woman in Wu Castle, so they had to show her some respect. Moreover, these were all donations and the government could earn a lot of merit. It was not a big deal to applaud. Next up is the penultimate item. Please take a look. As she spoke, Lin Shuang pulled back the red cloth and placed an exquisite gourd in the center of the porcelain plate. Why am I here? How is this possible? Other than me, could it be that there was someone else who was banished to the lower realms? The moment the red cloth was pulled away, Guopai stood up abruptly and stared at the gourd. What a beautiful gourd! It looks so similar to the baddie's, Su Yi said softly. Baddie, the charity auction is about to end. You didn't buy anything. Can you buy this gourd? I really want it. Su Ye's voice became softer and softer. A strange thought appeared in her mind. She was just a bed-warming maid. It was not appropriate for her to ask for something from him. This gourd is mine. I won't give it to anyone. This gourd is mine. It's mine. Guopai did not listen to Su Yi at all. He was murmuring to himself, because he released the last bit of his Dharma power into the gourd. The array outside the gourd was still intact. This meant that no one had opened the gourd before. It was very likely that there was something good inside. Cough, cough, cough. What is the old master doing? Why did he take out this treasure? Li Yao looked at the gourd on the stage with his eyes wide open. It must be something good, Li Yao said to himself when he turned his head and saw Guopai's expression. Old master, don't regret it in the future. I can't introduce this item. Let's welcome Li Dotian with a round of applause. Generally, please introduce this item, Lin Shuang said with a smile. Li Yao's grandfather, Li Dotian, was one of the few remaining generals in China who had participated in the anti-Japanese war in modern times. Although he no longer held an important position in the army, when he was mentioned, not only in Wu Castle, but in the whole of China, everyone gave him a thumbs up. Modern soldier king, god of war, China's god of war. No matter how good of a description one used to describe this old man, no one would say anything. Salute! When the old man stood up, dozens of people around the auditorium stood up at the same time. There were people of all ages and dressed differently. They all raised their right hands and saluted the old man respectfully. Sit down. This is a charity auction. Don't scare the students, Li Dotian said with a smile. Let me talk about this gourd first. I found this gourd during the war in 1951. It has been almost 70 years since then. This gourd was found in Tianqi Lake in Changbai Mountain. I don't know what material it is made of. I've asked many experts to examine it over the years, but none of them could identify it. They couldn't tell its origin either, Li Dotian said with a smile. Today, I'm taking this gourd to the charity auction for 2 reasons. First, I want to find a fated person who can solve the mystery of this gourd. Second, I want to raise enough money for charity. After all, I'm not as rich as you young people who can easily give out tens of millions. Li Dotian looked at Jia Yuan as he said this. I'll say one last thing. Up until now, the charity auction has been very successful, and we've raised quite a lot of money. I hope that every single cent can be used where it's supposed to be. If anyone dares to set their sights on this charity auction, I'm afraid that my gun at home will go off by accident. As he spoke, Old Man Li's gaze landed on some of the representatives from Marshall City. Grandpa Li, don't worry. We'll make all the proceeds from this charity auction public and let the public supervise. If we spend even 1 penny wrong, I, Wang Xing, will come to you with my head. Under Li Dotian's gaze, no one stood out. Wang Xing stepped forward and said this loudly. Haha, boy from the Wang family. Not bad, not bad. You'll be a good official just like Wang Yongjin. Li Dotian sat down and nodded at Lin Shuang. The starting price of General Li's gourd is 1 yuan. Each increment must not be less than 1 yuan. Anyone who wants it can start now. Lin Shuang stuck out her tongue and said with a smile. 1 million. My father used to be a soldier under General Li. I want to take this gourd away and give it to him. A middle-aged man stood up and said softly. Brother Jean, I'm sorry. I also want this gourd. 1,500,000. A slightly older middle-aged man said with a smile. 3 million. Uncles, I like this gourd very much. Let me have it. Guopai hadn't called out a price yet when Yu stood up and said in a low voice. Yu, what do you think about that gourd? Guopai was surprised at first, but then he asked with a smile. No, but I feel that this gourd is somewhat similar to the gourd you use to store wine. It should be good. Aren't you a big baddie? Yu said with a smile. Cough, cough, cough. Girl, you won't be able to store anything in that gourd even if you bid for it. You won't be able to open it. Guopai said with a smile. Don't waste your money. I'll get it myself. Baddie. If you want it, just say it. You don't have to say that I can't open it. Yu snorted and looked at the gourd on the stage. 3 million for a gourd made of some unknown material. It seemed that many people weren't going to fight for it. Chapter 23. 5 million. I think General Li can raise more money for this auction. Just as Lin Shuang was about to announce that the gourd belonged to Yu, a foreigner with blonde hair and blue eyes stood up and said, This is Charlie, an Englishman. His main business is shipping. His ancestors came from an island and he likes to collect strange things, a middle-aged man whispered in Li Dotian's ear. I don't want this gourd to fall into the hands of a foreigner. Tell Yao. Li Dotian closed his eyes after finishing his words. 5 million for an unknown gourd. This foreigner is interesting. When the crowd heard Charlie's offer of 5 million, there was a lot of discussion in the crowd. 8 million. This thing should be kept in China. Yu bit her lips and said. 8 million was the maximum amount of money she could mobilize. The Yu family had some businesses in Wu Castle City, but most of them were in the coastal areas. Li Dotian heard Yu's words and nodded slightly. Little girl, my grandfather likes strange things very much. It will be his birthday in a few days. I need this gourd as his birthday present. 10 million. Charlie said loudly. Englishman, let me see what you are thinking. Then Li Dotian's mind-reading ability fell on Charlie. These fools in China. My grandfather has heard of this gourd. General Ivanov also mentioned it in my house. This gourd is probably a gift from aliens to Earthlings. This thing must be brought back to England. If it is as we think, England's economy will improve qualitatively. Charlie's idea appeared in Guopai's mind. 20 million. Your grandfather has taken enough strange things from China. I think it's better for this thing to stay with us, Guopai said without hesitation. There are too many gourds like this in China. I hope you can take a step back and let me have this gourd. 30 million. Charlie stood up and said to Guopai. For my grandfather's wish, I still want to work harder. 40 million. Charlie gritted his teeth and said. This thing had already exceeded the price in his heart, because he was not completely sure whether this gourd was an alien product or not. If it was not, although 40 million yuan would not have any impact on his career, who would complain about having too much money? I think what my girlfriend said at the beginning is right. It's better for this thing to stay in China because it originally belonged to China. 50 million. After saying that, Guopai slowly sat down. He looked at Yu, whose eyes were slightly red, and revealed a look of admiration. 50 million. Congratulations. It seems like you really like your girlfriend. This gourd is yours. Charlie smiled in a very gentlemanly manner. Giving up something that your grandfather likes for 50 million, I'm afraid your grandfather will be angry, haha. Guopai didn't give up, because Guopai discovered another thing. Charlie's grandfather had just passed away last year. 50 million. Thank you to Guopai from Grade 1 Class 1 for your support of the charity auction. Lin Shuang waited for 3 or 4 seconds. When no one increased the price, she said loudly. This student of her class was a little naughty, but he had done a good job today. I hope this student can afford 50 million. Charlie shook his head and said fiercely. Next is the last auction item of today's charity auction. After saying that, Lin Shuang pulled the red cloth and a gourd that was very similar to the one just now appeared in front of everyone's eyes. A pot of good wine. Lin Shuang said with a smile. Miss Lin, I think I need to interrupt you. Just as Lin Shuang was about to continue the introduction, Guopai stood up again. The auction item I'm giving you is the wine in this gourd. I think whoever wins the bid will have to pour out the wine within an hour because this gourd is mine. I've never seen anyone buy wine like this. Give the wine to others and keep the bottle, a young man not far from Guopai said loudly. I can't help it. My wine has always been sold like this. It's just like how you look for beautiful girls. You can get your D**CK in, but do you have to get your D**CK in as well? Guopai looked at the young man in front of him, who was unpleasant to the eye, and said loudly, Haha, bad guy is mighty. Qian Duoduo laughed and said. Most of the men in the auditorium also laughed along. Everyone, please be quiet. I think everyone is tired. Let's quickly bid for this last auction item and end this charity auction perfectly, Lin Shuang said with a red face. Let me introduce the wine. Ren Xuanzi stood up from his chair and strode forward. Ren Xuanzi, many people below the stage know me. Sixth brother Ren, I think more people know this name. That's me. Haha, sixth brother, we haven't been able to find you all these years. Everyone says you're hiding in the affiliated high school and opening a restaurant. Old Manly won't let us in. You can't run away today, an old man below the stage said with a smile. After today's charity auction ends, I'll take care of sixth brother's meals. However, I hope everyone can get the wine in this gourd, Rin Schwanze said with a smile. I've drunk this wine twice. The first time, I shamelessly took it. The second time, I shamelessly drank it secretly, which is the wine in this gourd. Of course, after the charity auction ends, I'll pay the money for this wine to the affiliated high school according to the auction price. As soon as Rin Schwanze's voice fell, the auditorium burst into laughter. Sixth brother Rin has tasted countless wines in his life. Guopai, Little Yu's wine is ranked first. After saying that, Rin Schwanze walked down the stage. To be honest, I was lucky enough to taste a small mouthful of this wine. Although I don't drink much, the taste of this wine is unforgettable. I'm the same as Lord Liu. After the auction is over, I'll pay for the wine, Lin Shuang whispered. I hope the price of this wine isn't too high. You won't be able to appreciate the beauty of this wine if you just talk about it without tasting it, an old man said with some jealousy as he watched the two people on the stage singing the same tune. What's so hard about letting you have a taste? Guopai stood up slowly and lazily. He held the wine gourd in one hand while a small wine glass appeared in his other hand. After filling the glass to the brim, Guopai threw the glass into the air. The spinning glass spilled the wine in the glass in a strange way. Those who are fated to taste it will get a drop. Those who aren't can forget about it. After saying that, Guopai sat back down in his seat. Stop pretending. I don't believe this wine can be that good. With that, an old man stuck out his tongue and licked a drop of wine on the back of his hand. Wine, give me wine. I beg you. How much do you want? I'll give it to you, the old man shouted at Guopai. 1 million, no, 10 million. Let me have a sip. Just one sip. A middle-aged man beside the old man couldn't help but lick the wine on the back of his hand when he saw the old man's crazed behavior. Chapter 24. Old Jia, that grandson of yours knows that little fellow who bought the wine. Did you drink this kind of fine wine long ago? You are really particular. You actually didn't invite us old friends to join you. Is this what you, Jia Guyun, do? An old man beside Jia Guyun licked the fine wine in his hand and said loudly to Jia Guyun, What kind of person do you think I am? Let me tell you, this is the first time I tasted this wine. I only have one drop. Jia Guyun shouted loudly with a red face. Yuan, Jia Yuan, get over here. Call Yao Er over. I saw him just now. He is behind. Li Dotian said calmly. Unique wine, several unique wines. Unique wines appeared at the charity auction again. My good grandson. Although Wang Xing's grandfather, Wang Yongjin, didn't taste the wine this time, he immediately knew that it was the wine his grandson wanted to show filial piety to him. Wang Yongjin was supposed to be happy, but he couldn't. Girl Lin, let's start. How much is this wine? Name a price. Someone in the crowd shouted loudly. Sixth Master said that this wine is about 2 pounds and 8 ounces. The starting price is 1,000 yuan, and each increment must be no less than 100 yuan. Let's start. Lin Shuang said loudly. 50 million. Cut the crap. I will pay 50 million for this wine. A gray-haired old man said loudly. Wu Qian, the founder of Wu Castle Real Estate and the richest man in Wu Castle. Lu Gang, did you see that? Is brother still acting? Let me tell you, brother has drunk this wine several times. Do you know how much it costs? If I change it all to gold, I can build a small house for myself. You idiot. Qian Duo shouted at the boy who said he was acting in the classroom that day. 50 million. Wu Qian, you are not even giving us a chance to participate. Several old men in the front row said loudly. 55 million. Uncle Qian, I am sorry. I don't know if my brother has more. I have to buy this wine to show filial piety to the old man. Jia Yuan said with a smile. Jia Guyun looked at Jia Yuan and smiled with satisfaction. 60 million. Xiao Yuan, you have already cut ties with Elder Jia. Last time, I was the one who helped you with the loan. Don't tell me you still have the nerve to compete with me this time? Wu Qian said with a smile. No matter what the old man does, he's still my grandfather. Without my grandfather, there wouldn't be my father. Without my father, there wouldn't be me. Without me, there wouldn't be anything. 70 million, Jia Yuan said with a smile. You two are singing the same tune, making it seem like the wine is yours. 80 million, good wine should be shared. Another old man stood up and said loudly. There were more than 10 people behind him, all of them looking excited. Grandpa, as you can see, I don't dare to bid anymore. There are more than 10 old men here. It would be a piece of cake for them to deal with me. I won't bid for this wine anymore. If you want to drink it, you can drink it yourself, Jia Yuan said loudly to Jia Guyun. With so many people working together, they might be able to scare the younger generation, but it's useless against us. Let's talk first. No one is allowed to settle the score at this bazaar. Jia Guyun stood up slowly. 100 million, I'll bid 100 million. Drink some good wine, and I'll be able to close my eyes when I die. Big brother, you said that 3 caddies of wine was auctioned for a sky-high price of 100 million. How much did Old Fourth and our wine cost? Where did Old Fourth get this wine from? Wang Xing had already walked to Li Yao's side and whispered. I've said it the last time. Old Fourth is not simple now. Li Yao said with a smile. I'm in a very good mood now. Haha, I won't let anyone drink this wine. Haha. Money is a bastard. You can still earn it after spending it. 110 million. Old Jia, let me go this once. I bought this wine to show my filial piety to my father. On account of the friendship between you and my father, let me go this once. Wu Qian said loudly. Haha, little Qian, if old brother Deji was here, I would give him face. But I really can't do it this time. Now that the wine is kicking in, I can't control myself. 115 million. Jia Guyun pretended to be crazy and shouted loudly. Big brother Jia, are you serious about what you said just now? Just as Jia Guyun's voice fell, the door of the auditorium was opened, and an old man in a wheelchair was pushed in. Deji Yu, why are you here? Jia Guyun shook his head and asked softly. This time, he was in big trouble. Little Qian said that there will be good wine today, and asked me to come and take a look. It seems that it's true. Brother, are you going to bid for it for me, or should I do it myself? Wu Deji asked with a smile. You, when did you wake up? Why are you joining in the fun? Jia Guyun said loudly. I won't fight with you, but whether you can get it or not depends on you. 120 million. No one will fight with a cripple like me for the wine. Let's drink. Wu Deji said with a smile. His voice was not loud, but no one in the auditorium increased the price. Who is Wu Deji? Guopai asked softly as he looked at the 3 women beside him. They were all looking at Wu Deji with a hint of respect. He broke his legs to save the entire Wu Castle. We have a museum in Wu Castle, and his story is recorded in detail. He is a real hero. Murong Wei Wei whispered. Oh, if there is such a person, I would like to have a chat with him. Guopai said and used his mind-reading technique on Wu Deji. Wine, please don't let me down. I don't have many days left. Let's drink today. Wu Deji's thoughts appeared in Guopai's mind. The next sentence made Guopai stand up uncontrollably. It must be good wine. 6th brother wouldn't lie. Also, this gourd is not ordinary. 120 million. I didn't expect to get such a small bargain before I die. Old master, you just came in. There are some things that you might not know. I have to tell you. Guopai shouted when he saw the middle-aged man beside the old master walk up to the stage to get the wine. Oh, little guy, what else do you want? Are you going to increase the price? Wu Deji was stunned, but he was not displeased. He looked at Guopai and asked with a smile. Old master, I don't want this wine. It is a charity item that I contributed. Guopai said with a smile. But as I said at the beginning, I am only selling wine, not gourds. You have to return this gourd to me within an hour. Bad guy, sit down. You have already bid for a gourd. Give this gourd to the old master. Tang Shi pulled Guopai and said softly. The old master of the Wu family was a man who had seen many storms. Normally, he would not lower himself to the level of a junior. However, it did not mean that the rest of the Wu family would not do the same. There were people from the Wu family in the military, the political, and the business world. They would not offend the Wu family over a wine gourd. Little girl, the gourd is ours, so it is ours. Old Master Wu will not blame a junior for a gourd. Guopai looked at Tang Shi and said with a smile. His voice was not loud, but Wu Dizhi could hear him. Haha, I broke the rules. I will return the gourd to you within an hour. Wu Dizhi said with a smile. Chapter 25. Thank you for your support for today's bazaar. Those who bid for the items, please go to the bazaar committee 3 days after the bazaar to settle the money. After 3 days, the bazaar committee will announce the details of the bazaar. I hope everyone can supervise. Lin Shuang said with a smile. I've prepared lunch for everyone at the school cafeteria. Please go to the cafeteria. It's time for us old friends to gather. Li Xuanyu stood up and said with a smile. Dizhi, don't leave. Let's eat here. Let's finish this wine and return the gourd to the little guy. Jia Guyun had walked to Wu Dizhi's side and said with a smile. Guyun, let's not drink this wine today. Xiao Qian has already found the bottle. Let's go to Xian Su's place and drink his 30-year-old wine. Wu Dizhi said with a smile. Are you kidding? A dozen old men drinking less than 3 caddies of wine. Each of them can't even get 3 ounces. If we don't drink it, we can't drink it here. What the hell? When did old Wu become so stingy? The students had already started to leave through the student passage. At this time, an old man's voice attracted everyone's attention. Master Yufeng, why are you here? Jia Guyun was the first to recognize the old man. Grandmaster, why are you here? Please take a seat first. Li Xuanyu came over. He had absolute respect for Master Yufeng. In terms of calligraphy and Chinese painting, Master Yufeng was definitely the best in China. Master, you're in for a treat today. Dizhi bought some excellent wine today. Let's taste it together. Haha. Jia Guyun said with a laugh. Haha Guyun, you haven't changed at all. It seems that I won't be able to keep this wine today. Well, the wine has to go into the stomach. Since the master is here today, let's taste it together. I don't believe that a little kid like him can have any wine that everyone wants so much. Wu Dizhi said with a smile. I heard a lot of students talking about the sky-high price of wine today. Haha, it seems that this old man's luck has always been good. Master Yufeng said with a smile. Bad guy brother, that's Master Yufeng. Murong Weiwei said to Guopai with a smile. I have to go over for a moment. Grandmaster is here, so I have to pay my respects to him. Brother bad guy, come with us. Guopai nodded gently and walked side by side with Murong Weiwei toward the crowd. Teacher. Murong Weiwei bowed to Great Master Yufeng according to the ancient etiquette. Little girl, it's been a while since you went to this old man's place. You didn't fall behind in your homework, right? Great Master Yufeng said with a smile. I've been practicing my calligraphy according to teacher's instructions. I've been practicing 100 words every day and I've never missed a beat. Murong Weiwei said with a smile. Little fellow, do you want my wine gourd? We'll have to wait for a while. My grandson hasn't arrived yet, Wu Dizhi said with a smile. If the wine doesn't taste good, I'll come back to find you. I'll be thankful if you don't ask me for it after you drink it. But Weiwei's teacher is here today, so I can't be stingy. Everyone here is an old friend of my old man. Today, I'll give you another wine gourd, but you must return it to me after drinking it. Guopai said with a smile. Haha, I haven't seen Academician Guo for a while. Let's contact him later and come over for dinner together. Li Xuanyu said with a smile, let's go to the restaurant first and eat at Old Six's place. Little girl, we can't go to Old Six's place today. Call Tang Shi and Yu. Let's go somewhere else to eat. Guo Pai said with a smile. Go to Rin Xuance's place? In a while, his old man would come. Although he had a lot of wine, it was more comfortable to keep it for himself. What about Su Yi? Aren't you going to call her? Murong Weiwei said with a smile. She doesn't need to call. She'll follow, haha. Guo Pai said with a smile. Today was a happy day. He had to be happy. In a while, he would take back the old lord's gourd. If it was intercepted, he would have no place to cry. Student Guo Pai, what can I do for you? After contacting Tang Shi and the others, Murong Weiwei and Guo Pai found Lin Shuang. As a member of the Bazaar Committee, I would like to thank student Guo Pai for his contribution to this bazaar. I've made a great contribution. Shouldn't the teacher show some appreciation? Guo Pai looked at Lin Shuang with a smirk. Because Lin Shuang was on the stage and Guo Pai was below the stage, a pair of exquisite calves were undoubtedly exposed in Guo Pai's eyes. Guo Pai couldn't help but take a few more glances. He didn't care that Murong Weiwei was beside him and said with a smile. Ahem, Guo Pai, if you look around again, I'll dig out your eyeballs. Lin Shuang finally couldn't bear it and said to Guo Pai. Speak, the others have all gone to eat. What do you want from me? Nothing much. This time, my wine won first place in the bazaar. Do I get 30 extra points? Guo Pai looked at Lin Shuang and asked with a smile. 3 days later, after the bazaar proceeds are announced, the 30 points will be given to you. However, you peeked at the teacher just now, so the 30 points will be deducted. Lin Shuang looked at Guo Pai proudly and said. Ahem, don't use the word peek. I'm traumatized. Guo Pai coughed a few times. I wasn't peeking just now. Speaking of which, teacher, you're standing so high up for me to be below. Are you trying to seduce me on purpose? You. Speak, what else do you want? If there's nothing else, I'm going to get busy. Lin Shuang was really speechless at the young man in front of her. One of the 4 evils of Wu Castle. Yes, this was the 4th of the 4 evils of Wu Castle. His skin was really thick. Hee, Teacher Lin, I have a card with me. I want to take the gourd that I won at the bazaar. I'm not sure if you can give it to me now, Guo Pai said with a smile. Of course not now. Today we need to organize all the items for the bazaar. Tomorrow we need to pay according to the order. If you want to take the gourd, I'm afraid you'll have to wait a few days. Lin Shuang looked at Guo Pai and said, Little brat, beg me. I'll give it to you today. Otherwise, you'll have to wait. Teacher Lin, I'm a student of our class. Can't you make an exception? I really like that gourd. If I don't get it today, I'm afraid I won't be able to sleep. Guo Pai said with a smile. Guo Pai, do you know that just because I drank half of your wine, I'll have to pay you 5 million? I've only saved a little more than 1 million since I started working. I haven't even settled this debt with you yet. You want me to make an exception for you? No way. Lin Shuang suddenly thought of the wine. Yes, I'll have to pay you 5 million. If I tell my grandfather that I drank 5 million in 1 cup because of my thick skin, it'll be really embarrassing. Cough, cough, cough. Teacher Lin, you're being unreasonable. You and Lu Yi drank the wine yourselves. I didn't force you. 150 million was called out by old Wu. This has nothing to do with me. Guo Pai said loudly. Today you have to give me the gourd. Even if you don't want to, you have to give it to me. I have the money with me. I'm being reasonable. What a teacher says is reasonable. Moreover, I'm a female teacher. Also, the school prohibits dating. You violated this rule. Some students have already reported this matter to Director Shui. Lin Shuang said loudly. Chapter 26. Brother Bad Guy, let's go eat first. We'll think of something when we get back. Teacher Lin is very easy to talk to. She's been busy the whole day. Let her rest, Murong Weiwei said softly when she saw that the two of them were arguing. Teacher Lin, why don't you eat with us first? We'll help you clean up after dinner. It's the weekend anyway, and we have nothing to do. Alright, Weiwei is still the most sensible. Let me tell you, if you dare to bully Weiwei, I won't let you off. Lin Shuang walked down and pulled Weiwei towards the restaurant. Won't let me off? When the time comes, I'll bully you too. Let's see who can control me, Guo Pai thought to himself as he watched the two of them talking and laughing as they walked. Brother bad guy, over here. Guo Pai saw Tang Shi greet him as he entered the restaurant. Because the charity auction had ended, the students were hungry. The restaurant was full of people. However, when Guo Pai entered the restaurant, he attracted everyone's attention. 150 million was an astronomical figure for most people. However, Guo Pai was actually willing to donate such a thing as a charity auction item. This is Teacher Lin, our form teacher. There's no need to introduce her. You should all know her. Xiao Yezi, if we don't go to Master Lu's place, where else can we eat something special in the restaurant? Guo Pai asked Su Yi with a smile. Why are you asking me? Su Yi was stunned and asked with a smile. Because I read a book recently. It says that no foodie has a bad sense of direction because they have to remember all the places that have good food. I don't know if you have a bad sense of direction, but you're definitely a foodie because you're big. Guo Pai said with a smirk as he stared at Su Ye's towering peaks. Hooligan, big hooligan. How dare you talk about me like that in front of Xiao Shi? Xiao Shi, Sister Yu, are you going to do something about it? Teacher Lin Shuang, please take care of the big bad guy. Su Yi said to Guo Pai. Yi Zi, it seems like you know where to find good food in the restaurant. Just take us there, Tang Shi said with a smile. Xiao Shi, you've changed. It's only been a few days and you've changed. You're no longer the innocent Xiao Shi, Su Yi said to Tang Shi. Sister Yu, aren't you going to control him? How? It seems like yours is really bigger, Yu said with a smile. Lin Shuang looked at them, her face full of black lines. Was this still the affiliated high school? Was this really the most outstanding female student of the affiliated high school? Scoundrel, all of them had been led astray by this scoundrel. Arg. Crazy. They've all gone crazy. Su Yi shouted, unable to take it anymore. Then let's go to the crazy people's restaurant. The food there is very good, and there are not too many people. Let's go. Guo Pai roared. The 5 beauties blushed. Under the gaze of more than 100 students, they walked to an extremely remote area of the cafeteria. Lunatic restaurant. Teacher Lin, Weiwei, what do you think of these words? Guo Pai asked with a smile. What do you mean by how it's written? It's not as good as Xiao Shi's. Let's go in quickly. The boss here has a strange personality. Don't talk nonsense when you go in, or you'll be chased out, Su Yi whispered. Bad guy bro, these words seem to be scribbled, but there seems to be something in them. I can't see it, Murong Weiwei whispered. The Great Tao is invisible and the Great Tao is simple. This person's understanding of words has reached a high level, but there are some parts that are still lacking, Guo Pai whispered in Murong Weiwei's ear. Bad guy bro, is this really what you saw? Then tell me, where is the lack of maturity? Murong Weiwei was stunned. Was this young man in front of her really the 4th of the 4 pests of Wu Castle? Let's eat first. I'll tell you after we eat, hee, Guo Pai said with a smile. Just as he was about to take a step forward, he was stopped by a white-haired old man. Zhu Zi, the 5 of you, prepare a meal for lunatic Hua this morning. 5 elements soup, Buddha jumps over the wall, and ice platter, the old man said loudly. Little you, the food inside has been prepared. This meal is on me. Can you talk to me now? The old man squinted his eyes and asked Guo Pai. Let her follow, and my first wife too. I can talk to you, Guo Pai said with a smile as he pointed at Murong Weiwei. The old man smiled and nodded gently. He then led Guo Pai and Murong Weiwei in. Xiao Shi, come here for a moment, Guopai said to the 4 people who had already entered. Teacher Lin, the dishes have been served. You guys eat first. We still have some things to do. Xiao Shi, don't go. That's a strange old man. It's definitely not a good thing to be with a bad guy, Su Yi whispered. Little girl of the Su family, if you dare to speak ill of me behind my back again, you won't be able to eat here. The old man's ears were very good, and he said loudly to Su Yi. Strange old man, we came together. If you don't let me eat, I'll take everyone away, Su Yi said loudly without any trace of politeness. I'll also follow to see what's going on. Yu, let's go. You go too. Cough, cough, cough. No wonder Su Buchu is so afraid of you. You really are a little girl who is not to be trifled with. After that, the old man ignored the 3 girls who had already come over and took them into a very spacious room. The decoration of this room was very simple. There was a table about 8 meters long. There was an inkstone at one end of the table and 3 brushes hanging next to the inkstone. There was also a square table in the room, but there were 6 stools. Sit, the old man said with a smile as he looked at Guopai. Who is your teacher, little you? Old man, since there is a pen and ink, why don't you let this kid waste a piece of paper and write a few words? Old man, guess who my teacher is? Guopai did not answer the old man's question and said with a smile. Wei, serve me with a pen and ink. The old man was not idle. Not long after, a piece of rice paper appeared in his hand and he laid it flat on the table. Old man, this is a lot of money. This piece of rice paper can't be bought without a lot of money. Even if someone has it, I'm afraid they won't sell it. Madman's restaurant, yes, I'll write these words too. With that, Guopai took a deep breath, picked up the thickest of the 3 brushes, and 4 big words appeared on the paper. Let's go and eat. Guopai put down the pen, and said to Tang Shi and the other 3 with a smile. I don't see where it is written well. What's wrong with the crazy old man? He keeps staring at it. Su Yi muttered and walked out of the room. The dishes ordered by the old man for them had been served. Impossible, this is impossible. How old is he? Even if he was born with a pen to practice writing, it is impossible to write like this. The old man looked at the 4 words on the table and fell into a strange circle that he could not get out of. Bad guy brother, hee. Su Yi looked at Guopai and smirked. You can't be so greedy as a bed-warming girl. Take out the cup. Guopai didn't need to read minds to know what the little girl was thinking. Just 4 cups, little Yezi, how do you think we should divide them? Guopai looked at the set of cups that Su Yi took out and asked with a smile. That's not easy. 1 for little Shi, 1 for sister Yu, 1 for Wei, and 1 for teacher Lin. Su Yi said with a smile. I'll go to the back and find 2 more cups, 1 for each of us. Su Yi ran to the kitchen. Let's drink with bowls. Chapter 27. Let's drink from bowls. Su Yi held 2 porcelain bowls for rice and placed them on the table. Big brother bad guy, fill them up. Cough, cough, cough. Little Yi, you're a heroine. You're really a heroine. Guopai filled the 2 bowls and placed one in front of Su Yi. Su Yi smiled in satisfaction. Teacher Lin, try it. Is this the wine from Big Bad Guy's charity sale? Su Yi smiled. He probably wouldn't give us something so good. Otherwise, this bowl would be worth at least 3 taels. According to the price of the charity sale, it would be worth about 15 million. I can't bear to drink it. Lin Shuang nodded lightly. She picked up the glass and took a sip from the corner of her mouth. It's definitely not from the charity sale, Su Yi said softly when she saw that Lin Shuang's expression did not change much. Big brother bad guy, when will you be generous and let us all try some of the wine from the charity sale? If you don't like it, I'll pay for it. Scoundrel Gua, where did you get this wine? I thought that the wine from the charity auction that day wouldn't be better than theirs. Why is this wine even better than that? You let me drink something so good. What if I can't drink anything else in the future? You're a complete scoundrel, Lin Shuang said softly. A trace of tears actually flashed in her eyes. Of course, the best wine is reserved for our own people. Let's eat. If Big Sister Lin wants to drink, you can find me alone. Guopai looked at Lin Shuang with a mischievous smile. Little she, look at your family's bad guy. I don't know what he's thinking. Su Yi took a small sip. No matter when she drank Big Bad Guy's wine, her heart would be filled with happiness. It would make her forget all her troubles. Kid, I know, the old man from before said loudly as he pushed the door open and barged in. His hair was in a mess. I'm so thirsty. Let me drink some water first. With that, the old man didn't wait for Guopai's agreement. He picked up the porcelain bowl in front of Guopai and poured it into his mouth, regardless of whether it was wine or water. What is this? The words just now, no, the drink just now, no, little you, sorry to disturb you. With that, the old man turned to leave. No, don't talk. Let me do it again. Grandpa crazy, have you really gone crazy? Do you need me to call 120 for you? Su Yi looked at the old man and asked softly. Kid, no, little you, my name is Xue Zhiqing. People call me Xue Lunatic, the old man said loudly. How should I address you, little you? Guopai. It's too tiring to talk like this. I'll go get a stool. Madman Xue ran out and returned with a stool and a porcelain bowl. Zhu Zi, give me a portion of Eastern purple qi. Madman Xue shouted outside. Today, I've freeloaded a bowl of wine from you guys, so this meal is on me. Grandpa Xue, Southern Jing, Northern Xue, Northern Xue. Northern Xue means you, right? Murong Weiwei asked with a smile. What Southern Jing and Northern Xue? This old man's calligraphy hasn't improved at all after so many years. It's all because of those people. I'm going to stop writing too. Otherwise, I won't be able to write Great Master Yufeng's artistic conception even if I die, Madman Xue said with his eyes wide open. Old man, if you have something to say, just say it, Guopai said with a smile. Guopai also filled the porcelain bowl in front of Madman Xue. Let's talk about the wine first, then the calligraphy. Madman Xue looked at the sparkling liquid in the porcelain bowl and said with a smile. Bad brother, name a price. I don't know if you have any more of this wine. Can you sell some to me? As soon as Madman Xue's voice fell, the girls around him all looked at him. What are you looking at? I'll really pay. Little girl Lin, you should know me. Although I'm usually a little crazy, I, Madman Xue, have a good reputation. Madman Xue looked at Lin Shuang and said. Grandpa Xue, Guopai contributed 3 caddies of wine to today's charity auction. Lin Shuang looked at Madman Xue and whispered. Then let's sell it according to the charity auction price. How much is it? I'll buy 3 caddies too. Madman Xue didn't wait for Lin Shuang to finish and said loudly. Grandpa Xue, it's not much. 3 caddies of wine this morning only sold for 150 million Hua Xia Yuan. Su Yi said with a smile. Cough, cough, cough. Little girl, how much did you say it was? Madman Xue widened his eyes. Let's make friends with wine. The old man treated us to a meal, so it's natural for us to bring wine. It's meaningless to talk about money. Guopai reached out and stopped Su Yi, who was about to continue talking. Haha, little brother, I like your character. Let's talk about calligraphy. Let's talk about your calligraphy. Madman Xue said with a smile. Just now, you wrote 4 big words. Madman's restaurant. These 4 words, I can barely see the knack of the word madman. With just 2 strokes, it actually contains the charm of several masters of the Tang dynasty and perfectly blends them together. I'm afraid that even Master Yufeng can't reach such a level of calligraphy. Madman Xue shook his head and said. I don't know who your master is. Just now I looked through a few of my treasured authentic works. Your current level is even better than those masters of the Tang dynasty. Madman Xue continued. Compared to those little fellows of the Tang dynasty? Haha, this old man is indeed a madman. If it weren't for my guidance when I entered the world, how could those little fellows write such words? Guopai thought in his heart. I've had some fortuitous encounters over the years. It's inconvenient to reveal my master's name. It's very good that old man Shui can see one word. Guopai said with a smile. The 4 words hanging on your door are not bad. However, to truly enter the world, you can't simply open a private restaurant in this school. Go out and walk around. If you can have a fortuitous encounter like you did 60 years ago, you can achieve great success in 20 years. Little you, just by looking at the 4 words outside my door, you can see my fortuitous encounter when I was a teenager. This time, Madman Shui was really shocked. 60 years ago, Madman Shui was only 13 years old. In the entire village, not to mention reading and writing, there were not many people who could read. That year, an outsider came to the village. He was dressed in a Taoist robe. Madman Shui invited the Taoist to drink a cup of water. The Taoist stayed at Madman Shui's house for 3 days. Before leaving, he left behind a handwritten notebook. Madman Shui's achievements in calligraphy mostly came from that handwritten notebook. Congenital deficiency, postnatal fortuitous encounter. It's not easy to write to this level. Guopai didn't point it out and said with a smile. After eating, let's see if we can meet Master Yufeng. His words are quite interesting. Little you, I have a presumptuous request. I don't know if I should say it. Madman Shui was stunned at first, then said softly. Forget about becoming an apprentice. I just want to be a student of the affiliated high school. Haha, this kind of life is too comfortable. If the Jade Emperor knew that my life is so comfortable, he would probably descend to the lower realm. Haha. Guopai said with a laugh. Old man, don't think too much. Drink, drink, drink. Who knows, maybe after drinking this wine, your understanding of words will improve. Chapter 28. Yu Zi, come here. After Madman Shui heard Guopai's words, he shouted towards the door once more. A burly man, nearly 2 meters tall, walked in. Many people couldn't understand how such a burly man could be the chef of a small private restaurant. Master. Yu Zi looked at Madman Shui and said with a smile. Yu Zi, I'm going out for a while. I'm not sure how long, maybe a year, or maybe I won't come back. Watch over this restaurant for me. Remember, these students who come to eat are all free of charge. Madman Shui looked at Yu Zi and said, Master, I'll go with you. Yu Zi touched his head and said, Do you know what I'm going to do? What are you going to do? Madman Shui glared at Yu Zi and said angrily, I'll follow whatever Master does. When my father died, he told me to follow Master. Yu Zi said softly, I'm already over 80 years old. If you follow me now, what will you do when I die? Who will you follow? Madman Shui looked at the innocent Yu Zi and said helplessly, Old man, this little brother is not bad. Actually, if you leave, this restaurant will probably close. Guopai said softly, Yu Zi, before your father died, did he tell you to listen to me? Madman Shui looked at Guopai and said to Yu Zi with a smile, Yes, I'll listen to Master. Yu Zi said honestly, Bad brother, I have a presumptuous request. I hope you can help me. Madman Shui said softly. Guopai didn't say anything. His eyes fell on Yu Zi again. Suddenly, a strange aura silently entered Guopai's mind. How is this possible? Guopai's heart was about to jump out of his chest. The bloodline of a great magus. This big guy in front of me actually contains a trace of the bloodline of a great magus. I'm leaving Wu Castle. I don't know where I'm going, but I want Yu Zi to follow you. I'll talk to the school. I want him to learn something from you, Madman Shui said softly. Haha, old man, you must have heard of the 4 pests of Wu Castle, right? I'm the 4th of the 4 pests. Don't worry about leaving such a pure and innocent guy with me. Do you believe that he can emerge from the mud untainted, or that I won't lead him astray? Guopai looked at Madman Shui and said loudly. Zhu Zi, from now on you'll be following Bad Bro. You have to listen to him. You have to do whatever he tells you to do. Do you understand? Madman Shui said loudly. Master, I want to follow you. Zhu Zi said stubbornly. Are you disobeying me before I even leave? Madman Shui glared at Zhu Zi and said loudly. Only by following this person will you be able to achieve great things in the future. Only then will you be able to make the whole village look up to you. Only then will you be able to live up to your parents. Master, I'll listen to you. Nice to meet you, Bad Bro. Zhu Zi turned his head and looked at Guopao. He respectfully greeted Guopao, which made the girls stare at him with wide eyes. We're all family. Let's not cook today. Go get a stool and eat together. Guopai said with a smile. Bad Bro, I'll go get the purple chi from the east. You guys try my cooking. This is my best dish. Zhu Zi ran into the kitchen as he said that. Delicious, really delicious. Brother Zhu Zi, what's this chewy dish? It's so delicious. Why haven't I seen this dish before? Su Yi didn't care about her image as a girl and ate with big mouthfuls. Hee hee, you can't call me brother. You're Bad Bro's woman. You can call me Zhu Zi. Zhu Zi said with a silly smile. That thing is, before Zhu Zi could say anything, Guopai pulled him back. Beef tendon. You can't even taste beef tendon? Guopai said with a smile. Zhu Zi, since this restaurant is closed, what other dishes do you have? Go get 2 more. I'll give you something good to drink later. Zhu Zi, let me tell you. I'm not Bad Bro's woman. Su Yi said loudly to Zhu Zi, who ran into the kitchen. I'm so angry. I'm being taken advantage of by a big Bad Bro. The lunch lasted until 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Guopai burped again and slowly stood up. The world is so good. Speaking of which, the purple chi from the east is really good. If I use that thing from the Pegasus to make the purple chi from the east, wouldn't it be even more chewy? Guopai thought to himself as he walked out of the restaurant and looked at the clouds in the sky. Yi Zi, what's that in your hand? Tang Shi asked with a smile when she saw Su Yi holding a transparent bag in her hand. The ingredients for the purple chi from the east. This beef tendon is not bad. I'll bring it home in the afternoon and let my father have a taste. Su Yi said with a smile. Little Yi Zi, spare me. Give me that thing. If you give it to your father, I'm afraid he'll come to our school. When that time comes, Madman Shui won't be here. Zhu Zi will be in trouble. Guopai looked back and said loudly. Bad Bro, I just packed some ingredients. I just don't want to buy it. Is there a need to have such a big reaction? Su Yi said with a glare. Yi Zi, come here. I have something to tell you. Guopai couldn't hold it in anymore. Without waiting for Su Yi to respond, he pulled Su Yi to his side. Bad Bro, why didn't you say so earlier? You're so disgusting. Guopai whispered a few words in Su Ye's ear. Su Yi said loudly and threw the thing in her hand away. It's a pity to throw it away. Leave it with me. When I need it, I'll make some food. Ha! Guopai looked at Su Ye's flustered and exasperated appearance and said with a laugh. Teacher Lin, what's wrong with them? Is there a problem with the thing that Yi Zi took? Tang Shi looked at Lin Shuang blankly and asked. There's no problem. It's just some beef with a higher collagen content. But you can't eat too much. Who was Lin Shuang? She had graduated a few years ago and knew more than these young men. When the dishes were first served, she knew what it was with the first bite. But how could this matter be said at the dinner table? Cough, cough, cough. I know what it is. Madman Shui, that old hooligan. Yu looked at Lin Shuang's flushed face and suddenly understood what she had just eaten. She hadn't eaten or heard of it, but it was really disgusting when she thought about it. Let's not talk about it. We're going home in the afternoon. Yu Wei, do you have any plans? Tang Shi asked with a smile. My brother will pick me up in a while. Why don't we go together? Yu said with a smile. I'll go see if the master has left. If he hasn't, I'll go to his place with the master. If he has, I'll take the car there, Morong Yuyu said softly. I'll talk to you later. I'm going out to do the charity auction. You can tell Guopai that if he wants the gourd, he can come find me in the afternoon. After saying that, Lin Shuang walked away with a red face. Yuyu, why do you think teacher Lin Shuang is blushing? Could it be that she also likes brother bad guy? Tang Shi asked Yuyu softly. Teacher Lin is an adult, not an ignorant girl like us. Why would she like a bad guy? Yuyu said loudly. As soon as she said that, her face turned red. Chapter 29. Guopai and Suyi argued for a while. Tang Shi and Suyi couldn't stand it anymore and pulled Suyi aside. Okay, it's my fault this time. I've filled a bottle of wine for each of you. When you go home this time, you can give it to your elders. But this is the only bottle, and this is the only time. You can see how you can fool your elders, Guopai said as 2 porcelain bottles appeared in his hand. They looked ordinary. Bad guy, are you trying to fool us with these things? Where did you get these broken bottles? Su Ye's anger had just subsided, but when she saw the 3 broken bottles in Guopai's hand, she suddenly became angry. Why are you quarreling? You're just a bed-warming girl. I've treated you well enough. It's fine if you don't want them. These 2 bottles are Xiao Shi's, and you're complaining that my bottles aren't pretty. Let me tell you, give the wine to your elders and return the bottles to me. I won't give you the bottles even if you want them. Guopai said loudly, and Su Ye's anger suddenly disappeared. I want them. Who wouldn't want them for free? Su Yi said as she took the 2 bottles and handed one to Tang Shi. I'll try it later. Humph. Xiao Yezi, do whatever you want. This isn't as good as ours, but it's exactly the same as the wine at the charity auction. Guopai said as he handed the last bottle to Yuyu. Bad guy brother, teacher Lin Shuang said just now that if you want the gourd, you should go to her. Tang Shi whispered. Woman, you can't give me this wine anymore. If you give me more, how am I going to spend the next 100 years? Guopai said softly. Xiao Shi, be careful on the road. Don't talk to strangers. I won't be going home this month. I'll go visit Master Yufeng with Wei Wei later. You too. Haha, you can call me if you miss me. Xiao Yezi, don't harass me. After that, Guopai pulled Morong Wei Wei and walked toward the charity auction committee. The most important thing was to get the gourd. Bad guy brother, what's the secret of the gourd? Morong Wei Wei asked softly. I'll tell you slowly in the future. I'm afraid you won't believe me even if I tell you now. Guopai said softly. 100 years will pass in the blink of an eye. There are many things that are better left unknown. Then, is the telepathic message from Wu Castle about the 4 pests of Wu Castle true? Morong Wei Wei continued to ask. Rumors? Guopai said with a smile. 4th of the 4 evils, eldest young Master Gua, shameless, lecherous, bullying the weak, breaking the law, lawless? Rumors don't come out of nowhere. However, whether it's true or false, since rumors are spread, how can we believe them completely? Are you coming in with me or waiting for me outside, or are you going to look for Master Imperial Wind first? Guopai asked with a smile as they arrived at the entrance of the charity auction committee. Bad guy bro, what do you want me to do? Morong Wei Wei said with a smile. Could it be that the 4 evils of Wu Castle are afraid that a little girl like me will ruin your plans? I don't know why, but even though I've only heard negative news about you before I met you, I believe you completely after meeting you. Go on in, I'll go see if Master Imperial Wind is still in the school or has already left. With that, Morong Wei Wei turned around and walked towards the other side. Little girl, are you the demon in my heart, or am I the demon in your heart? Even Emperor Xuanzong of Tang could have a harem of 3,000 people. Although I know that society doesn't allow this, I will still choose to love everyone I meet in the human world. 100 years, Who can go through the pain that I, mind reader Star Sovereign, went through? With that, Guopai walked towards the charity auction committee. 100,000, 130,000, 7,000, 60,000, 5,000 and 5,000, 10,000. Lin Shuang stood beside a computer and entered the numbers on a piece of paper in front of her into the computer. Wu Qian has already paid for the wine, Jia Yuan has also paid for it. Of all the big bucks, only Guopai is left, Lin Shuang muttered as she checked the numbers. Now it's $237,555,700. It's 200 million more than the last charity auction, Lin Shuang whispered. This little bad bro. Just one person who is related to him is worth $200 million. It's really not like what the outside world says. Could it be that the four evils of Wu Castle have changed their nature? Do you feel that Guopai is very outstanding and have the urge to make him your boyfriend? He's not bad looking and has such good wine with him. It's just that he's a little young, Lin Shuang said unconsciously. When did you come? I didn't say anything just now. Lin Shuang raised her head and said loudly when she saw Guopai with a smirk on his face. Professor Lin, I've already treated you to a meal and wine. Isn't it time to settle the gourd issue for me? Guopai said with a smile. Settled. $50 million. Have you brought the money? Lin Shuang said with a red face. This was so embarrassing. She had to settle the gourd issue quickly and get this big bad guy out of here. The money on the card should be enough. Take a look. I've paid for the wine as well. It's my fault. I should have let you have a taste of the wine before the charity auction, Guopai said as he took out a black card and handed it to Lin Shuang. I'll use my own money. You should be more frugal in the future. Otherwise, Professor Guo's pension fund will be used up by you sooner or later, Lin Shuang said with a hint of reproach. Didn't you want me to contribute more to this charity auction, Professor Lin? Guopai asked with narrowed eyes. When did I think of that? Don't talk nonsense. Even if I did, I wouldn't have asked you to spend so much money, Lin Shuang said loudly. Here's the card. Professor Guo has devoted his life to scientific research. I hope you can use his money where it's supposed to be. Professor Lin, how do you know that this money belongs to my grandfather? I didn't earn it myself, Guopai said with a smile. I won't spend my grandfather's money in the future. Money is no longer a problem for me. Let me tell you, Guopai, you're now a student of the high school affiliated to Renmin University of China. If you're found to have broken the law, no one will be able to help you. You won't be able to continue your studies there, Lin Shuang said loudly. Don't worry, Professor Lin. I won't continue to break the law. I want to cherish these 3 years as a student. If I can't continue my studies at the high school affiliated to Renmin University of China, how can I face you, Professor Lin? Guopai said as he looked at Lin Shuang with lust. Cough, cough. Here's the gourd. There's nothing else. Hurry up and leave. I still have a lot of work to do here, Lin Shuang said with a red face. There's nothing else to do at the moment. Why don't I help you? Guopai said with a smile. Isn't it just a summary of the items from the charity auction? Guopai said as he sat beside the computer. His hands were typing furiously on the keyboard. I didn't expect this kid to be a computer expert when he was alive. Combined with my memory ability, these things will be easy for him, Guopai thought to himself. This big bad guy doesn't seem to be useless after all, Lin Shuang thought to herself as she watched Guopai focus on the computer and typing furiously on the keyboard. Professor Lin, take a look. Is this all done? Guopai said as he printed out a form and placed it in front of Lin Shuang. This. How did you enter all these things into the computer so quickly without any mistakes? Lin Shuang asked softly as she checked the data that she had obtained after working for an hour. Because when I'm with the person I like, I feel like I'm Superman, Guopai said with a smile. Professor Lin, age isn't a problem. You don't have to feel so pressured, Guo Pai said as he walked out of the charity auction room with a big smile. Chapter 30. Bastard! Lin Shuang was stunned at first, then she shouted at Guo Pai's back. Just you wait, I'll deal with you sooner or later. Hey, was that the voice of the charity auction committee? Why did it sound like Teacher Lin Shuang's voice? A few students who were doing experiments on the second floor were stunned and asked softly. Impossible, how could it be Teacher Lin Shuang? We must have heard wrongly. Another student said softly. You watch my experiment, I'll go downstairs and take a look. Wait, I'll go too. You guys go ahead, I saw Morong Weiwei, she suits me better. A teenager said with a smile. Morong Weiwei? Where is she? The two teenagers stopped at the same time and looked out of the window. Look, Guo scoundrel, the Guo scoundrel from the first year of high school. Is Morong Weiwei really together with him? The three of them saw Guo Pai coming out of the building and smiling at Morong Weiwei. The two of them walked out together and the three of them were stunned. How was it, did you get the gourd? Morong Weiwei asked with a smile. Got it, hee hee, I helped Teacher Lin Shuang pack her things, otherwise she would have come out long ago. Alright, did you find the master? Guo Pai asked with a smile. I did find him. He's still drinking and chatting with the principal. I'm thinking of going to the master's house tomorrow. Do you have anything to do tomorrow? Why don't we go together? Morong Weiwei said softly. I'm free tomorrow, you can give me a call, I'll go back and study this gourd. Guo Pai said with a smile. Weiwei, don't move, what's with your forehead? Here. Morong Weiwei gently lifted her forehead, revealing a scar that looked like it was made of fine thread. This was left from the last battle, I used the best scar removal product, but it still left a little scar. Morong Weiwei said without hiding anything. Come, let's go sit over there. Guo Pai held Morong Weiwei's hand and walked to a pavilion. No matter what happens later, this is the password that belongs to both of us. As Guo Pai spoke, a rough jade box appeared in his hand. It should be made of the same material as the wine bottles he gave Tang Shi and the others. Big brother bad guy, do you have a way to get rid of the scar on my forehead? Actually, it's fine. It's so light that you won't be able to see it clearly if you don't look closely. Morong Weiwei said softly. Let me try. I'm not sure if this thing will work. Do you dare to let me test it on your forehead? Guo Pai said with a smile. There's nothing I don't dare to do. Many things are destined by the heavens. For example, I met Kong Xian and got to know you. Morong Weiwei gently touched her forehead. At that time, this scar made Kong Xian feel guilty for a long time. Could it be that Guo Pai was really the person Kong Xian had chosen for her? Silly girl, don't think too much. Let me get rid of this scar on your forehead first. As he spoke, Guo Pai opened the jade box. A black pill with no appearance, was lying inside. Guo Pai gently scratched a trace of powder from the pill with his fingernail. Then, he twirled it between his thumb and index finger. Then, he gently tapped Morong Weiwei's head with his index finger. Big brother bad guy, is this all right? Morong Weiwei felt a slight chill on her forehead and asked in a low voice. Not so fast. I'm going back to study this precious gourd. Give me your call tomorrow. Let's go find the master together. Wash your face before going to bed at night and see how it goes. With that, Guo Pai turned and walked in the direction of the dormitory. Kong Xian, you've only been away for half a year. If I really fall in love with Guo Pai, will you blame me? Morong Weiwei looked at Guo Pai, who was walking away, and said in her heart, Bad guy, you're back. Just as Guo Pai entered the dormitory building, Li Long said loudly, Brother, why are you so loud? You scared me. Guo Pai said with a smile, Bad guy, there are a few people waiting for you in your dormitory. You'd better be careful. There are two big guys almost 2 meters tall. There's also a fat guy and a good-looking young man. They don't look like good people. Li Long whispered in Guo Pai's ear. Okay, thank you, brother. Ask Brother Wei to have a meal together someday. I'll go up and see who they are. Guopai said with a smile. The people who came should be his brothers, but there were two big guys. Who could that person be? Bad guy, do you need to call Brother Wei? Li Long asked loudly to Guopai's back. Guopai stretched out his left hand and waved, then walked into the elevator. Brother Qian, did Bad Guy really push down the campus bells of your school? He's only been here for a few days. Jia Yuan asked with a smile. Brother Fatty, why don't you believe me? This is the audio. Listen to it. This is not a synthesized voice. This little brother risked his life to secretly record it. Qian Duo once again took out the recording from the restaurant last time. But Bad Guy doesn't seem to be able to do it. It's over in a few seconds. But it's understandable. After all, he's facing the campus bells. Cough, 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 second brother, do you think fourth brother is really so fierce? He got 4 campus bells in 3 days. This is too ridiculous. We don't know what kind of person he is, but the girls around him today are really beautiful. Wang Xing said with a smile. Third brother, no matter whether fourth brother has something to do with those girls or not, you have to be careful. Li Yao, who had been silent all this time, said with a smile. Xiaohua is very good. If you let her down, don't say the old man won't punish you, even I, as her cousin, won't let you go. As for the other girls, one of them is the daughter of the Yi family. The one called Tang, she should be Tang Mingyuan's daughter. I don't need to talk about you. These people's backgrounds are not simple. Big brother, you're amazing. In the time it took for the charity auction to get all the information about the people around Bad Guy. I admire you. Qian Duo said with a smile. But you left one person behind. Murong Wei. She's not from Wu Castle. But if something happens to her in Wu Castle, it'll be a big deal for Wu Castle. Isn't Murong Wei the spoiled girl of Wu Castle mentioned a few days ago? Isn't she a local of Wu Castle? Jia Yuan was stunned and asked with a smile. Brother Fatty, the Murong family, in the whole of China, how many people have the surname Murong? Qian Duo said while touching his head. But Bad Guy is really amazing. He got Murong Wei directly. Could Murong Wei be the illegitimate daughter that shocked half of China? Wang Xing was stunned and said softly. My good brother, keep your voice down. If this matter gets out, our lives will be over. Qian Duo ran to Wang Xing's side and reached out to cover Wang Xing's mouth. What are you guys talking about? What illegitimate child? Guopai saw the door of the dormitory open and walked straight in. He found the 5 old men sitting cross-legged in the living room. It seemed that they had finished a box of beer and were talking happily. Chapter 31. Bad Master, you are back. Grandpa asked me to look for you. Zhu Zi, who had been silent all this time, stood up first and said to Guopai. Sit down. Don't be shy. There are no outsiders here. Guopai said with a smile. My 3 brothers, why are you still in school? Lao Si, how is it? We are waiting for you here. Are you touched? Jia Yuan said with a smile after drinking a mouthful of beer. Yes. I didn't take good care of you this time. I didn't prepare lunch for you when you came to our school. But you can't blame me. The bazaar hasn't ended yet, but I can't see you guys. Guopai said with a smile. It's all because of your wine. Big brother is fine, he's going to America tomorrow. But third brother and I are in trouble. Just now, father called me and told me to get a few pounds of wine from you no matter what. Otherwise, we don't have to go back. Jia Yuan said with a long face. Brothers, don't cry about being poor. I can tell with a single glance how much wine you've drunk. Take care of your grandfather's affairs. As for the wine, I have some here, but I can't give you any more. As Guopao spoke, he held the wine gourd in his hand and took a big gulp. Ahem, Lao Si, look at what you are saying. It's as if we are here to ask for wine, Wang Xing said with a smile. Wang Xing smiled and said, We came here this time mainly to see how my brother is doing in school. Did he get bullied? Brothers, don't worry. I Chien Duo am a big shot in affiliated high school. If someone wants to make trouble for me, bad guy, they have to ask for my permission first. Chien Duo said loudly. Haha, little brother, why didn't I see that you have such ability before? A lot of money, a pillar, and 4 beauties. You've only been in school for a few days, but little brother already has a bunch of beauties. Moreover, there are more beauties than little brother. Li Yao joked. Hee, I've made a fool of myself in front of you. Brother Yao, tell me, what's the matter? You're different from second brother and third brother. If there's anything, just say it directly. Guo Pao didn't use mind reading. It's nothing. Do you remember what I told you in Wu Castle? Don't you want to know who wanted to deal with you that day? Li Yao narrowed his eyes and said, Brother Yao, let's not talk about who that person is first. I want to know how confident I am in taking care of the person you mentioned with my current ability. Guo Pai was stunned. Including the 3 of us, with the resources we have now, I'm not sure. I can only vaguely guess who wants to deal with you. Li Yao said softly with a trace of helplessness. In that case, let's not talk about it first, lest we brothers become even more worried, Guo Pai said with a smile. This time, it was Li Yao, Jia Yuan, and Wang Xing's turn to be stunned. What kind of person was Guo Pai? What kind of temper was he? He would seek revenge for the smallest grievance. They didn't expect him to say such words this time. My 3 brothers, I just want to finish these days of high school first. The car accident last time left a deep impression on me. I can't always rely on my family and my 3 brothers to live, right? Guo said with a mischievous smile. 4th brother, it's good that you can think like this. But since I have roughly guessed who it is, I think he should also know that we have guessed it. He won't act rashly in the near future. Li Yao said softly. If they dare to make a move again, I don't mind collecting some interest first. Thank you, Brother Yao. Let's wait for me to solve this matter. Today we are all brothers. Let's drink. Guo Pai said with a smile. Bad master, this beer is boring. Can you let me drink the one from this afternoon? Zhu Zi said while scratching his head. Zhu Zi, I can give you the beer, but there is something I need to discuss with you. Guo Pai stared at Zhu Zi with bad intentions. There is no need to discuss. Bad master, just say it. Crazy Grandpa said that I should listen to you. Zhu Zi said with a smile. Okay, I have enough beer. But if I need to give you some blood in the future, you can't refuse. Guo Pai said with a smile. Chien Duo could also be considered a miraculous guy. In less than 5 minutes, he actually came back with more than a dozen dishes to go with the wine. The bullwhip that Guo Pao had contributed and taken over from Su Yi was directly made by Zhu Zi using the simplest method. Li Yao and the other 2 tasted it and stretched out their hand. 4th brother, I regret it now. If I had known, I would have asked Little Flower to get me a letter of admission. You are amazing. It has only been 2 or 3 days, and you have already taken care of so many beauties. As your brother, I am not as good as you. Jia Yuan hugged Guo Pai with one hand and said, 4th brother, before you came, Big Brother said that these girls are not ordinary. You have to deal with them well. Otherwise, the people who want to deal with you won't have to deal with you. Just these girls' families can turn you into this dish. Wang Xing said with a smile. Brothers, don't worry. Beauties, money, power. Sooner or later, we will have whatever we want. You guys can go back. I won't send you off. Guo Pai walked to the door and smiled at the 3. Brother Yao, come back for a while. I have something for you. The 3 were stunned. Jia Yuan and Wang Xing looked at each other and walked to the elevator without waiting for Li Yao. Big brother, I have a bad feeling. You will be in danger when you go to the United States. Take this. It will save your life. Guo Pai handed the ugly jade box to Li Yao. Old 4, I don't know where you got so many strange things, but I'll take this. When I come back from the United States, I'll come and find you," Li Yao said as he took the jade box from Guo Pao's hand and left in a leisurely manner. Big Sister only told me the approximate location of the mind-reading star monarch. How can I find him in this vast sea of people? She also didn't say where he was reincarnated. How can I find him? A 15 or 16-year-old girl sat on the top floor of the tallest building in Wu Castle. She looked at the night view outside the window and muttered to herself. Dong, dong, dong. A series of knocks on the door disrupted the girl's thoughts. Come in. The girl calmed herself down and said softly, Dear Monsieur, here are the carrots you asked for. As he spoke, a middle-aged man in a suit placed a small basket of washed carrots on the coffee table. You can leave now. There is nothing for you to do here, Ewer said softly. By the way, did anything special happen in Wu Castle recently? Anything special? Monsieur, no. But if there is anything, I will tell you immediately, the middle-aged man said softly. Okay, you can leave now. The middle-aged man closed the door softly. Ewer directly sat on the sofa, and in a short while, she had already eaten a radish. It tastes terrible. Ewer didn't take a second carrot. It tastes terrible. The spiritual qi is thin, and there is only so much magical power left. How can I find the mind-reading star monarch? Chapter 32. Achoo! Guo Pai, who had just sent off Li Yao and the other two, sneezed. Who's thinking of me again? Whatever, let's study this gourd first. Cough, cough, cough. Damn it, I only have a little bit of magical power left. I can't even open such a simple array. Guo Pai coughed a few times and put the gourd on the table. He tried his best not to bleed. Who is it? Someone is using magical power. Mind-reading Star Sovereign is indeed in Wu Castle City. Just like Sister said, he didn't reincarnate directly. I'll find you sooner or later. A slight fluctuation of magical power made Ewer, who had just closed her eyes on the top floor of Wu Castle City's Wu Castle building, stand up abruptly. This gourd was obtained by the old man in Tianqi. It seems that I have to take some time to go down to Tianqi and see if there are any good things. Guo Pai said to himself. My magic power. With such a thin amount of spiritual energy, how am I supposed to recover my magic power? After saying that, Guo Pao drank a mouthful of wine and swallowed a pill. Murong Weiwei went back to her dormitory, changed her clothes, took out a few pieces of rice paper, closed her eyes and rested for a while. Then, she picked up a brush and started writing on the rice paper. Sigh, I'm not writing today. I can't calm down recently. There won't be any hints if I continue to write like this. Murong Weiwei looked at the lines she wrote and shook her head gently. Sister Weiwei, aren't you going to rest? Murong Weiwei's roommate, a pretty little girl, asked with a smile. According to this little girl's age, she was old enough to go to middle school, let alone high school. However, she was indeed a first-year student of the high school affiliated to Renmin University of China. Nangong Lingma was a student of the high school affiliated to Renmin University of China. What's wrong, Lingma? What's the matter? Murong Weiwei asked with a smile. Murong Weiwei had an indescribable fondness for this little girl in front of her. I saw my sister again when I was looking at the forum today. Is the boy beside you your current boyfriend? He's very fickle. A few days ago, he forcefully kissed Tang Shi and Yu in the restaurant. Nangong Lingma whispered. I know, little girl. Since when have you become so nosy? Murong Weiwei reached out to stroke the little girl's head and said with a smile. I'm leaving affiliated high school next year. I don't know if I'll be able to see my sister again, Nangong Lingma whispered. I'm only 11 years old. Why do you want me to represent my family in next year's martial arts tournament? Silly girl, because you're outstanding. Don't think too much, sleep well. I'm going to the city tomorrow. I'll bring you some delicious food when I come back. Murong Weiwei said with a smile. Nangong Lingma, who was lying on the bed, suddenly sat up. He clenched his fist and said softly, "No, this womanizer, I have to meet him before I leave." Boom! A huge rock 100 meters away from the girls' dormitory was split in the middle by an unknown force. Nangong Lingmo raised his head and looked outside. He gently stuck out his tongue and quickly lay down. A new day in the human world, I love you. It was also a sleepless night. The moonlight was better than the sunlight, it was more comfortable to absorb. Guapai's internal injuries caused by the backlash of forcefully opening the gourd had almost recovered after a night of rest. You carry the load, I'll lead the horse. No one would have thought that the fourth of the four evils of Wu Castle would choose such a song as his ringtone. Hey Weiwei, I'll wait for you downstairs. Okay, let's have breakfast together later. Murong Weiwei called Guapai at around 7 o'clock. She was going to visit Master Yufeng today. Good morning, sister. Are you going to visit Master Yufeng? Nangong Lingmo rubbed her eyes and asked with a smile. Yes, the milk is in the fridge and the bread is ready. You can have some later. I'll bring you something good to eat when I come back tonight. Bye. Murong Weiwei said as she pushed the door open and walked out. Humph, I'll go to the balcony and see what kind of person this big bad guy is. Why is sister so concerned about him? Nangong Lingma pouted and said, If he's not as good as that Kong Xian, I won't let sister be with him. Weiwei, let's go and have some breakfast first. Guapai said with a smile when he saw Murong Weiwei coming out of the dormitory. Let's go, I know a place that serves good breakfast. The two of them walked out of the school. Humph, womanizer, I'll let you have a taste of my power. As he spoke, the bread that Nangong Lingma had just taken a bite of flew out of his hand with a whoosh. Big Dipper, were they banished to the human world too? Why do they have the power of the constellation? The moment the bread flew out, Guapai was stunned. He released all of the magical power in his body and wrapped it around him and Murong Weiwei. Ah! Nangong Lingma on the 13th floor shouted. The moment the bread hit Guapai, a special force suddenly appeared on the bread. Nangong Lingma felt a terrifying aura coming towards her and quickly retracted the power of her will. As a result, the bread covered in butter flew back and hit her head. Bad guy, just you wait, I'll get my revenge sooner or later. Nangong Lingma said loudly. Do you know that little girl just now? Guapai asked with a smile as he walked out of the school gate and recalled what happened just now. Yes, she's my roommate. Murong Weiwei said with a smile. Don't be fooled by her young age, she has special abilities. Murong Weiwei said as she gently stuck out her tongue. Special abilities? Interesting, let's go eat first and then visit the master. I'll find time to meet your little roommate. Guapai said with a smile. Weiwei, the breakfast here is really good. Don't move, let me see the small scar on your forehead. Guapai said with a smile. Well, it's not bad. That's good, it's perfect. Bad guy brother, you mean that the scar disappeared? Murong Weiwei asked with a trace of surprise. How is this possible? The doctor said before that to be able to return to the way it was before is the maximum limit. You'll know when you see it. The maximum limit, that should be the limit of the medical world. Guapai said with a smile. Murong Weiwei would not hear the words in Guapai's heart. This is just the beginning of the immortal world. Murong Weiwei took out a small mirror from her body. The small scar really disappeared, and it was impossible to tell that it had been injured before. Thank you, bad guy brother. Murong Weiwei whispered. Which girl didn't like to be beautiful? Although Murong Weiwei didn't care much about the scar before, she was still very happy that it disappeared. In the depths of Murong Weiwei's heart, she even recognized Guapai as a person. Let's go buy something for the master, Murong Weiwei said as she led Guapai to a simple decoration store. Little girl, you're here again. What do you want this time? An old man in his 60s, wearing a long robe, asked with a smile. Grandpa Mu, Do you have any new goods here recently? It's best if it's an ink stone, Murong Weiwei said with a smile. You came at the right time. In the past month, I've received 4 ancient ink stones. I'll take them out for you to see. Saying that, the old man walked into the inner room, and in a short while, 4 ink stones were placed on the table. Bad guy brother, your handwriting is so good. Come and see which one of these ink stones is better, Murong Weiwei said with a smile. Old man, put away these ink stones first. I heard from a friend that you recently got a good brush. Can you take it out for me to see? Guo Pai said with narrowed eyes. Chapter 33. Oh, I wonder where little you got the news from? Mu Qinbai was taken aback. This brush was indeed a good brush, but its origin wasn't too glorious. A friend of his who was also into literature had found it on the black market and bought it at a high price. Other than a few acquaintances in the circle, no one else knew about it. There are no secrets in the underworld. Since old master is doing business, why don't you take it out and let us see? Guo Pai said with narrowed eyes. Where did the news come from? Can I tell you that I know what you're thinking? Haha, interesting, interesting. Little you, wait a moment. I'll be back soon. With that, Mu Qinbai walked into the inner room again. After a while, he walked out with more than 10 brushes in his hand. Just as little you said, I'm doing business. Since little you also knows the origin of that brush, I naturally can't hide it. Mu Qinbai arranged the brushes in his hand in order. This old man spent 300,000 yuan on that pen. It's one of the pens. You can choose. If you choose correctly, you'll benefit. If you don't, then this old man won't be polite. Little friend, is this arrangement okay? Haha, old master is really good. Choosing 1 out of 13. Interesting, interesting, Guo Pai said with a smile. Big brother bad guy, why don't we not use that brush? Let's just buy an ink stone. The master doesn't care about this. Murong Weiwei said softly. She could take out 300,000, but if they didn't choose correctly, Guo Pai would lose face. Little you, it's not too late to stop now. If you don't want to gamble, I'll put away the brush and give you these ink stones at a cheaper price, Mu Qinbai said with a hint of pride. Old master, this is the bank card. Swipe 300,000 first. Later, regardless of whether we choose correctly or not, it'll be counted as our own. With that, Guo Pai handed the bank card to Mu Qinbai. Little Weiwei, this is my first time meeting the master. I'll pay for it. You don't have any objections, right? Guo Pai looked at Murong Weiwei and said with a smile. Big brother bad guy, I've seen these brushes. The 3rd and 7th are bamboo brushes from the Republic of China. The 5th and 10th should be from the Qing dynasty. I can't identify the rest. Some of them might be old, but I can't tell. Murong Weiwei whispered. Little girl, you're amazing. You directly eliminated 4 of them. Fine, fine. I'll only choose 1 out of 9. It's a loss for this old man. Although Mu Qinbai said this, he was secretly delighted. Guo Pai took a step forward. He didn't use his hand to take the brush on the table. He just looked at them one by one. Little you, how about it? If you don't make your choice, I'm going to kick you out. About 10 minutes later, Mu Qinbai walked over with a small teapot in his hand and said with a smile. Amazing, really amazing. 9 brushes. 5 of them are from the late Ming dynasty and early Qing dynasty. They're expensive. 2 of them are modern products, but they're also made by a master. In terms of the materials used and the old methods, they're top-notch. They can be compared to the bamboo brushes from the Wanli period, Guo Pai said with a smile. What about the other 2? Mu Qinbai asked subconsciously. The remaining 2 are bamboo brushes from the Ming dynasty. They've always been embroidered with flowers and birds. The other one is embroidered with flowers, Guo Pai said with a smile. Haha, little Yu's methods are also good. Could it be that you want to get some inspiration from this old man? Mu Qinbai pretended to be calm and said, "Little you choose. After looking at it, I think this brush is more pleasing to the eye. Whether it's him or not, I'll choose him." With that, Guopai placed his hand on the first brush. "Old master, you don't have to wrap it up for me. I'll take this brush." "Ha ha." Guopai laughed as he reached out and pulled Murong Weiwei out. "Little you, please wait. Little you, please wait." The moment Mu Qinbai saw Guopai place his hand on the first brush, his heart felt as though it had been hollowed out. He had spent 150,000 yuan to buy that brush. Although the asking price was 300,000 yuan this time, to a person who loved calligraphy, a brush was the first of the four treasures. Who would mind having a good brush? "Why, old master, are you going back on your word?" Guopai stopped and turned around to ask. "If you're willing to bet, you're willing to lose. There's nothing to regret. However, I wonder who little you is going to give this brush to?" Mu Qinbai asked softly. "Grandpa Mu, it seems that this has exceeded the boundaries of your business." Before Guopai could speak, Murong Weiwei took a step forward and said softly. Her voice was not loud, but Mu Qinbai could hear that the little girl in front of him was not very happy. This was also his fault. At that time, he had honestly asked for a price and sold the brush to them. Why did he have to do this? "I'm sorry. The two of you are welcome to come again." With that, Mu Qinbai watched the two of them walk away. "How annoying." Murong Weiwei pouted. "It's said that old men who don't die are thieves. I didn't think so before, but now I realize that it's true." "Haha, I didn't expect our Miss Murong Weiwei to be angry," Guopai said with a smile. "It's not that old man Mu's fault. He probably spent 150,000 yuan to buy this brush. However, if it was auctioned, it should be sold for about 800,000 yuan. Big brother bad guy, how did you know that this brush was the one he got? Also, how did you know that he had such a brush?" Murong Weiwei asked softly. "Because I know what he's thinking." "Haha," Guopai said with a smile. "Just like Weiwei, you're thinking that big brother bad guy is bragging again." Guopai's voice fell. Murong Weiwei's face flushed red because Guopai had guessed her thoughts correctly. "Big brother bad guy, master likes peace and quiet. When we get there, you have to listen to me," Murong Weiwei said softly after the two of them walked for about half an hour. "I'll listen to you," Guopai said with a smile, "but I'm afraid that master won't like peace and quiet when he sees me. He's about to have a wedding banquet, haha." "Look at what you're saying, it's as if master is greedy," Murong Weiwei said with a rare smile. "If master asks you to evaluate his work, just say as much as you can see. Don't talk nonsense." "Don't worry, I know what I'm doing," Guopai said with a smile. The two of them talked and laughed all the way to the door of a big house. "It's here, I'll knock on the door." Murong Weiwei took a step forward and knocked on the door 3 times. "Hello Mother Wu, is Grandpa home?" The person who opened the door was an old woman in her 50s. She was dressed plainly and had a charming face. "Weiwei, the old man has been talking about you since this morning. Come in, I'll make you something delicious for lunch." Mother Wu said with a smile. "You brought your friends here today. Come in, don't stay outside." "Weiwei, the old man went to your school yesterday. Why didn't you look after him? He drank a lot of wine, but fortunately, he didn't talk nonsense when he drank. The doctor also came to check on him. There's nothing wrong," Mother Wu said with a smile. "Well, I brought the culprit here. He was the one who gave Grandpa the wine." Murong Weiwei pointed at Guopai behind her and said, "Hello Mother Wu, I came in a hurry this time and didn't bring you any gift. I have a small thing here that I bought from the antique street a few days ago. I'll give it to Mother Wu. Take it for your little grandson. The boss who sold this thing said that this thing has been consecrated and can ward off evil spirit," Guopai said and handed an ordinary-looking guanyin pendant to Mother Wu. Chapter 34. No, no, you're a guest, I can't take your things, or else the old man will scold me. Mother Wu said with a smile. Oh right, how did you know I have a grandson? Wei Wei must have told you. Mother Wu, please accept this, I might have to come often in the future. Guo Pai did not explain. He smiled and stuffed the jade into Mother Wu's hands. You must take care of your grandson for a while, haha. Mother Wu, why is it so noisy? Wei Wei girl is not here yet? An old man's voice came from the room. Then, Great Master Imperial Wind walked out. Guo Pao had seen Great Master Imperial Wind once in the school auditorium, but today, he felt a familiar aura from Great Master Imperial Wind. Grandpa, I brought a friend to see you today, he. Murong Wei Wei smiled and said to Master Yufeng. Oh, I want to see what kind of person can make Wei Wei girl bring to my place. Master Yufeng said with a smile. You didn't bring Kong Xian to my place at that time. Old man, what are you talking about? Don't mention it. Mother Wu quickly walked to Master Yufeng's side and pulled him with all her might. All right, Mother Wu, if Wei Wei girl can't even take such a blow, then she's not someone that I, Yufeng, have taken a fancy to. She's not worthy to be my disciple. Don't get involved, go and cook. Those stinky brats sent some wild game over a few days ago. Make some good dishes. Great Master Yufeng said with a smile. Guo Pai, uninvited. Greetings, Master Yufeng. Guo Pai took a step forward and said with a smile. The wine that Deji shared yesterday was yours, right? Do you still have it? I'll take care of the food today, so do you have to take care of the wine? Master Yufeng said with a smile without any arrogance. Leave the food to Mother Wu. Come, follow me to the study room. I wrote a piece of calligraphy this morning, come and take a look. The ninja is successful, the impatient is useless, the resilient is blessed, the contending is joyless. 16 words entered their eyes. Girl, don't worry about this calligraphy for now. Go and write a few words. Let me see if you have made any progress after a month. Great Master Imperial Wine said with a smile. Master, I came across the ink and brush shop on the way and accidentally found a good brush. Since Wei Wei is going to write a few words, I'll let her use this brush first. As he spoke, Guo Pai took out the brush from his backpack and walked to the inkstone to prepare the ink for Murong Wei Wei. Mu Qingbai is really generous this time. Haha. However, little you said that you would give this to me. You can't go back on your word. At most, I'll give you a piece of calligraphy. Grandmaster Imperial Wind laughed. Bad guy big brother, what do you think I should write? Murong Wei Wei took the brush from Guo Pai and asked in a low voice. Write what you think in your heart. Words are born from your heart. If you think about other things, no matter how you control your hands, you won't be able to write at your highest level. Guo Pai said softly. The ink is ready. Let's begin. With that, Guo Pai retreated behind Murong Wei Wei. Ordinary changes, but the heart of an old friend changes. It was originally 2 sentences from Nailan Xingda's poem, but Murong Wei Wei changed the heart to change. After writing, Murong Wei Wei put the brush away and retreated to Great Master Imperial Wind's side. Young man, why don't you go and write a few words too? Let's see. Great Master Imperial Wind didn't say much. He smiled and looked at Guo Pai, waiting for his response. Then I'll embarrass myself. With that, Guo Pai took a step forward and put the backpack behind him on the ground. He unbuttoned the first 2 buttons of his shirt and slowly rolled up the sleeves of his shirt. He walked to a basin by the door and slowly put his hands in it. He gently washed them a few times and then wiped them dry. Enter my lovesickness sect. Know my lovesickness. Long lovesickness brings back memories. Short lovesickness is endless. The moment Guo Pai put down the brush, Great Master Imperial Wind's applause sounded. Good, good, good. I didn't expect to see such words in my lifetime. I have no regrets in this life. Great Master Imperial Wind said loudly. What's Southern Jing, Northern Shui, Great Master Imperial Wind? They're all bullshit. Little you, accept this old man's bow. With that, Great Master Imperial Wind bowed deeply to Guopai. Great Master, you're flattering me. It's just a few words. Great Master, you're too serious. Let's talk about Wei Wei's words first. Guopai took a step forward and helped Great Master Imperial wind up. Okay, let's talk about Wei Wei first. Great Master Imperial Wind said with a smile. In the past, I wasn't willing to accept you as my closed-door disciple because you haven't gotten over Kong Xian's matter. If you don't get over your feelings, it's hard to write. Now, if you still want to be my disciple, I'll agree. Wei Wei, hurry up and perform the apprenticeship ceremony. Follow Great Master. Great Master's words are indeed worthy of being called the leading figure of China. Guopai said with a smile. Little you, you're flattering me. There's one thing I don't understand. According to your age, how can you write such artistic conception in your words? Great Master Imperial Wind asked softly. Others only know that Guopai has a hedonistic grandson who is ignorant and incompetent. However, who can truly understand this hedonistic young hedonist for more than 10 years? If one hears the truth in the morning, one can die in the evening. I'm just walking on a different path, Guopai said softly. After listening to Guopai's words, Murong Weiwei's eyes turned slightly red. That's right, how much did a 16-year-old youth have to go through to be able to express such artistic conception in his words? To be able to make a generation's great master of traditional Chinese studies bow deeply. The man she chose was not wrong. Great Master Imperial Wind nodded his head lightly. Although he still couldn't believe it, no matter what he experienced, Guopai had just turned 16 years old after all. Cough cough, Great Master, I saw an endgame in the living room just now. Why don't we finish that endgame before we eat? Guopai looked at Murong Weiwei, whose eyes were slightly red, and looked at Great Master Imperial Wind, who seemed to be deep in thought. He couldn't help but think in his heart, this time I'm showing off too much. However, I can't possibly tell you that I'm the mind-reading Star Lord of the Heavenly Court and that I've already lived for several hundred years during the Tang Dynasty. Little you are also proficient in Go? Great Master Imperial Wind was stunned and asked with a hint of surprise. I know a thing or two, but my hands were itchy when I saw the endgame. Guopai said with a smile. Let's go to the living room. Girl, this time I must thank you. It seems that you were right not to bring Kong Xian along that day. Haha. Great Master Imperial Wind didn't have any taboos and said with a smile. Great Master, I'll go first. I'll take advantage of you. After saying that, Guopai picked up a black piece and gently placed it on the chessboard. After 30 moves, Great Master Imperial Wind raised his head and looked at the youth in front of him. He was completely shocked. He never thought that a black piece could actually break the chess game that he couldn't break. No more, little you won. Great Master Imperial Wind said loudly. Little you, don't call me Great Master. My surname is Chen and my name is Yutong. My ancestral home is Qinghai Yushu. You can call me Old Chen in the future. Great Master's surname is also Chen? Guopai was stunned. He finally knew where the familiar aura when he entered the door came from. Qinghai Yushu's surname was Chen. The child in Tongtian River's Chen family village that Sun Wukong saved was also surnamed Chen. Wasn't he the mind-reading true lord later? Chapter 35. Little you, what do you mean? Great Master Yufeng was stunned and asked softly. Nothing, I just thought of something interesting. Guopai said with a smile. Great Master, in the journey to the west, Sun Wukong passed by the Chen family village when he was crossing the Heavenly River and saved a man and a woman. They both had the surname Chen. According to the current location, the Jade Tree of Azure Sea should be the location of the Chen family village. Haha, little you is right. According to the Chen family genealogy, our ancestor is called Chen Qingyuan. He is the boy saved by Sun Wukong. Great Master Yu Feng said with a smile. Cough, cough, cough. Is it really such a coincidence? Guopai opened his eyes wide. The Great Master in front of him was actually his descendant. Haha, Jade Emperor, should I thank you for banishing me to the mortal world? Old man, what are you talking about? You look so happy. Mother Wu walked into the house with a hot plate and placed it on the table. Mother Wu, let me help you. Murong Weiwei and Mother Wu walked into the kitchen together. Cough, cough, cough. Great Master, I will call you Great Master. I really can't call you Old Chin. Guopai coughed a few times. If you have any problems in the future, you can contact my grandfather directly. Haha, little you are joking. What can happen to me? My time is near. I am satisfied to be able to accept Weiwei as my disciple. Great Master Yu Feng said with a smile. How could he understand Guopai's meaning? You are the younger generation of the Chen family. If there is any problem, of course the Great Master will stand up for you. Hee, you will understand in the future. Let's eat. I am really hungry after the whole morning. Guopai ignored Great Master Yu Feng and sat directly on the bench. Little you, the dishes are here. Shouldn't you bring the wine? Great Master Yu Feng said with a smile. I will get a few cups. Murong Weiwei smiled and ran into the kitchen. Then, she placed 4 exquisite wine cups on the table. Girl, why are you bringing me a wine cup? I don't drink, Mother Wu said with a smile. Mother Wu, if you don't drink that, give it to me later, I'll drink some. Great Master Yu Feng said with a smile. I just drank it yesterday, you can't drink it today. Mother Wu said, preparing to take away Great Master Yu Feng's cup. In a while. In the future, I'll only drink it once a month. Mother Wu, don't snatch the cup. I'll do what I say. Great Master Yu Feng said loudly while protecting the cup with one hand, which made Guopai and Murong Weiwei laugh. Weiwei, do you know why the Master's handwriting is so much better than Madman Shui's? They also came into being, Guo said with a mischievous smile. I don't know why Madman Shui went crazy and left the affiliated high school. When did you see him? Imperial Wind Great Master asked with a smile. Yesterday, we had dinner at the lunatic restaurant before he left. Murong Weiwei whispered. He listened to Brother Bad Guy's words and decided to go out for a walk. Haha, little you, I really can't tell how much you know. I don't have much time left. I don't ask for anything else. I'll be satisfied if you and Weiwei can take time out to visit me once a month. Great Master Yu Feng said with a smile. Little Bad, you can come in the future, but don't bring wine. I'll make delicious food for you. Mother Wu said with a smile. Ahem, 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 Mother Wu, it's only for a short while every month. I'm already so old, can't you just give in to me? Great Master Yu Feng said loudly, causing Guopao and Murong Weiwei to burst into laughter again. Mother Wu, try some. If it doesn't taste good, give it to me. Murong Weiwei said as she moved the wine cup in front of Mother Wu forward. Fine, I'll drink it. It's not like I haven't drunk it when I was young. Mother Wu said as she raised her head and drank a cup of wine. Then everyone laughed. Little Bad, quick, fill it up for me. You can stay here from now on. I'll make delicious food for you every day. Fill it up. Mother Wu said loudly while holding the cup. Haha, Mother Wu, do you know how much you drank just now? Great Master Yu Feng was about to say something, but he was stopped by Guopai. Master, let's drink and not talk about anything else. I'm happy today, let's have a toast. After saying that, Guoshua drained the cup in one gulp. Chen Yutong, father and son, I'm not calling you, Guoshua thought to himself. Teacher, why is it so lively today? Am I late? A voice came before the person arrived. A middle-aged man's voice came from the door. Guopai glanced at Murong Weiwei, and a trace of uneasiness appeared on Murong Weiwei's face. Ifu, you're here. Mother Wu took a step forward and said with a smile. We just started eating. I'll get you a bowl and chopsticks, Mother Wu said as she walked to the kitchen. Uncle Kong. When the middle-aged man walked to the living room, Murong Weiwei stood up and looked at the middle-aged man and said softly, "Weiwei is here too. Sit, sit." Kong Yifu, a man in his early 40s, was the president of the Calligraphy Association in Wu Castle City, the disciple of great master Yufeng and Kong Xian's uncle. "Little Yu, this is Kong Yifu, my disciple. He's the president of the Calligraphy Association now. You can get closer to him when you have time," Great Master Yufeng said as he pointed at Guopai. Guopai, a student from the high school affiliated to Renmin University of China and Weiwei's friend. "You can get to know each other." "Weiwei's friend? Haha, not bad, not bad." Kong Yifu looked at Guopai and said with a smile, "Murong Weiwei, what a good Murong Weiwei. My nephew died under the wheel of a car because of you. It's only been a few months and you've found another one. Good, very good. You're just like your mother, seducing men everywhere." Kong Yifu's thoughts appeared directly in Guopai's mind. "Yifu, eat while it's hot. Why didn't you tell me you were coming?" Mother Wu said with a hint of blame. Obviously, Mother Wu had a good impression of this middle-aged man in front of her. "I'm just worried that you'll be in trouble. Isn't this good? I'm just here for a meal." "But Mother Wu, you're a little biased. There are more dishes today than when I came," Kong Yifu said jokingly. From the moment Kong Yifu appeared, Murong Weiwei started to feel uneasy. No matter what, this middle-aged man in front of her was her ex-boyfriend's uncle. Now that she was with another man, although Kong Yifu did not say anything, the pressure was pressing on her heart fiercely. "Little Bad, just now the teacher said that your calligraphy is very good and you're also good at chess. Let's play 2 games later," Kong Yifu said with a smile. "To tell you the truth, in terms of chess, I've only lost to 2 people who are around your age. One is Weiwei, this little girl, and the other is my dead nephew, Kong Xian. Weiwei should have told you before." As soon as Kong Yifu's voice fell, the spoon in Murong Weiwei's hand broke into pieces. Guopai narrowed his eyes and glanced at Kong Yifu. "I'm afraid there's one more person who can beat you today," Guopai said with a smile. A hand reached out from under the table and grabbed Murong Weiwei's hand tightly. Murong Weiwei, who was originally in a mess, calmed down the moment Guopai reached out and grabbed her hand. Chapter 36. Kong Yifu naturally took note of the two's little movements. "Good, very good. An illegitimate daughter of the Murong family, since she did not enter my Kong family's door, then let me see what kind of ability this brat you found is capable of. Little Bad, you play black. I am older than you, so I can't take advantage of you," Kong Yifu said with a smile. "No need, let's guess. My luck has always been good," Guopai said with a smile. In the end, luck did not stand on Guopai's side this time. Kong Yifu played black, and he played white. But so what? How could a 10,000-years-old Go player lose to an ordinary person? "Brat, do you think you can win against me just because you broke the endgame by accident? I will let you see what is the strength of a level 7 professional," Kong Yifu thought in his heart. In fact, he was indeed good at playing chess. It was more than enough to deal with an amateur or even a professional player. But today, his opponent was Guopai. "Kong Yifu, you can't get distracted while playing chess. Look, if you get distracted for even a moment, this big dragon will be taken down by me." After saying that, Guopao took out the Chi child from the chessboard. "Call me Kong Yifu, you actually dare to call my name." Kong Yifu looked at his big dragon and was anxious. In less than 10 minutes, Master Yufeng came over. He looked at the chessboard and shook his head gently. "Yifu, let's end the game here. You have lost," Master Yufeng said softly. "Again," Kong Yifu shouted. He did not hold back and directly played black again. But this time it was faster. In less than 10 minutes, he lost again. "Again," Kong Yifu said again. His forehead was covered with sweat. "No more." Today, including the endgame with the old man, we have already played 3 games. It is meaningless to play anymore. Guopai directly rejected Kong Ifu's request. Haha, not arrogant and not rash. Good, very good. Master Yufeng said with a smile. This old man's ability is limited. If I had met little friend a few years ago, I might have been able to exchange pointers with little friend in some aspects. But now I can't. I wonder who little friend's teacher is? After great Master Yufeng watched Guopao and Kong Ifu play the second game of chess, he concluded that even if he were to face Guopao, he would not be able to gain any advantage. Who is my master? I have many masters, but I can't tell you. I hope you can forgive me. Guopai said with a smile. How can I tell you? Let me tell you that I first learned from the great sage Sun for a period of time. Later on, when the great sage returned from his pilgrimage to the west, he brought me along to learn from some individual immortals. Later on, when I went to the heavenly court, my opponent was Tai Bai Jinxing and Immortal Tai. I also went to the 5th manor to play chess with Immortal Zhen Yuan for a few years. If I told you this, would you believe it? Haha, I was thinking too much. Great Master Yufeng said with a smile. Ifu, there is always someone better than you. I know that Kong Xian's matter has affected your Kong family greatly, but little Wei Wei is already this old man's closed-door disciple, which is also your junior sister. You should know what to do in the future. Great Master Yufeng had already seen through Kong Ifu's thoughts today and said softly. Ifu understands. It is Ifu's fault today. Please forgive me. Master, Ifu has embarrassed you. Kong Ifu immediately understood what Master Yufeng meant. Since he had already said it so clearly, there was nothing he could not understand. Master, there is still an event at the association today. I will not stay here any longer. I will come and see you when I have time. Sai, among my 4 disciples, I used to think highly of Ifu. Whether it is his character or other aspects, he is very similar to me when I was young. But it seems that I was wrong. Master Yufeng looked at Kong Ifu, who was leaving, and said softly, Old man, you don't have to blame yourself. Guopai said with a smile. By the way, how much do you know about the gourd that General Li Dotian obtained in the past? Do you have any treasures stored in it? Can you let me take a look? Guopai suddenly remembered that when he ascended to the heavenly court, he had left a lot of good things in the Chen family village. He did not know if his descendants had passed them down from generation to generation. They seemed to be worried that he would need them now. Dotian's gourd? I know a little about it. He had let me take a look at it in the past. Master Yufeng said with a smile. I don't have the gourd here. But if you want to talk about other treasures, I do have a few. They are all things that have been passed down from generation to generation. I will go and get them for you to take a look. Master Yufeng said with a smile. I don't care about anything else. The flying sword that I personally forged back then is something that you fellows have passed down through the generations. Without it, I will drag you fellows out even if I have to go to the underworld, Guopao thought. After so many years, I heard from the elders that there were a lot of things in the past. From Qinghai to Wu Castle, we lost some during the internal civil war, and some were destroyed during the foreign war. These are the only things that can be passed down. Master Yufeng said as he pushed a small cart into the living room. Old man, why did you take these things out again? Mother Wu, who had just finished cleaning the table, asked with a smile when she saw Master Yufeng push out the small cart. Little Yu wants to take a look. I'm afraid that those paintings and calligraphy won't be able to enter little Yu's eyes. These things are passed down from generation to generation. They are definitely old things. Let little Yu take a look. Master Yufeng said with a smile. 7-star compass, overturning heaven's seal. Although they are all counterfeits, but these are the things that I used to eat. After opening the first 2 boxes, Guopao thought to himself. However, even though he had obtained these items, he had no use for them. Magic power. Given his current level of magic power, if he were to forcibly activate these magic treasures, wouldn't he just end up hanging himself? Was he tired of living? Flying sword, it must be my flying sword. When Guapai reached out to open the third box, he shouted loudly in his heart, "Old man, you're awesome. I've been in the antique market for a long time, but I've never seen such a good treasure. Can you tell me what these things are used for?" Guapai asked with a smile. He could not hide his excitement because when he opened the third box, a familiar appearance entered his eyes. If it was not the flying sword that he made in the past, what else could it be? This is a compass. There should be someone among the ancestors who was proficient in geomancy and bagua. But this compass is much smaller than some of the existing compasses of the Tang dynasty. Master Yufeng said with a smile. This should be a seal, but I can't see what's written below. I've also found a lot of experts, but they can't recognize it. Master Yufeng continued. As for the last thing, I think it should be a toy that the ancestors made for their family's younger generation, but the workmanship is extremely exquisite. Later, they may have found that this thing was too sharp, so they directly handed it to their descendants and passed it down from generation to generation. Master Yufeng said with a smile. After Master Yufeng finished speaking, Guapai was about to go crazy. 7-star compass, pirated overturning heaven seal, divine flying sword. In the past, Chen Qingyuan relied on this thing to save the world and kill the devil. He accumulated countless merits, which allowed him to fly to the heaven realm and withstand the heavenly thunder effortlessly. He didn't expect that when it was passed down to his descendants, it became such a saying. Chapter 37. Old man, since you took these things out, I can't hide it from you anymore. Guapai said with a smile. Actually, I followed Wei Wei to find you this time because of your treasures. As Guapai's voice fell, Murong Wei Wei's eyes widened. Impossible, bad guy brother wouldn't use me. Why would bad guy brother do this? When Guapai saw Murong Wei Wei looking at Guapai with a trace of disbelief, Guapai reached out and held Murong Wei Wei's little hand again. Master, please wait a moment, take a look at this calligraphy first. After saying that, Guapai used his body to block everyone and took out a scroll from his small backpack. Then, he carefully opened it and a 1.5-meter-long painting scroll was opened. This is impossible. How is this possible? Master Yufeng said in shock. Teacher, don't be agitated, tell me slowly. Murong Wei Wei supported Master Yufeng and said softly. Little Yu, can you tell me the origin of this painting? Master Yufeng slowly sat on the stool and said softly. Cough, cough, this painting was given to me by my master. Guapai said with a smile. Master said that when our ancestor was in the Tang dynasty, he had a bet with the Chen family and Chen Qingyuan. In the end, Master lost and Chen Qingyuan gave a painting to the ancestor. In return, the ancestor gave a sword model that he made for his grandson and an unfinished seal to Chen Qingyuan. Little you mean that the things in my box belong to your ancestor? Master Yufeng roughly understood what was going on. Our sect has been passed down from generation to generation. In my generation, when Master passed away, he left behind a wish that he could exchange for the ancestors' things. Guapai said softly. Originally, I wanted to visit the old man myself, but I happened to know Wei Wei, so I followed you here without telling Wei Wei. Haha, so you are the descendant of an old friend. No wonder you can write so well and play so well. Great Master Imperial Wine said with a smile. Old Master, are you going to accept this painting? Guapai said with a smile. The meaning behind his words was very clear. Should the sky-flipping seal and the divine travel flying sword be given to him? Since it's not something passed down from the ancestors, and it's a bet from back then, I'll return it to Little Yu. With that said, Master Yufeng put away the calligraphy that Guapai handed to him. Guapai carefully put the 2 sandalwood boxes into his backpack. Guapai looked at the 7-star compass. With his current immortal power, according to the speed of cultivation on Earth, he probably wouldn't need to use it within 100 years. He would leave it with Great Master Imperial Wind first. Weiwei, don't blame me for not telling you the purpose of my visit. Guopai and Murong Weiwei stayed at Great Master Imperial Wind's house until about 4 in the afternoon. Because they still had to go to school the next day, the two rejected the Master and Mother Wu's invitation to stay and didn't have dinner at the Master's house. She's angry, she's definitely angry. I've only known you for 2 days and you're already hiding things from me. What will happen in the future? Murong Weiwei said loudly. She was a completely different person from when she was at school. All right, Miss Weiwei, I'll treat you to dinner tonight. Don't be angry. If there's anything in the future, I'll definitely discuss it with you first. Today's matter was also repeatedly instructed by Master to not tell anyone. Our sect is a little special, Guopai said softly. What's special about it? Murong Weiwei was stunned and asked with a smile. Superpower, just like your roommate. We're a very special group of people in this world. Guopai said softly. Then will you participate in the martial arts competition next year? Murong Weiwei asked softly. Brother bad guy, what kind of superpower do you have? Tell me if it's possible. We're different from the Nangong family. They're a sect that's out of the world and under the control of the country's superpower group. We're different. We have strong self-control. We don't take in anyone, but we usually don't use our superpowers to bully others. Guopai said softly. Think about it, I was so badly injured at that time. If it was just based on modern medicine, I'm afraid I would have reported to the King of Hell. Then your identity as the fourth of the 4 evils of Wu Castle is also fake. Murong Weiwei asked with her eyes wide open. Yes, the fourth of the 4 evils of Wu Castle in your eyes is just a distraction. Our sect has a lot of enemies. Back then, Master made me like this because he was afraid that the enemies would come after me. Guopai said casually. Then what about your feelings for Xiao Shi Yuyu and me now? Are they also to distract people? Murong Weiwei asked softly. Of course not. I'm sincere to all of you. Think about it, an ancient sect like ours would not be shackled by the secular world. I don't approve of monogamy, otherwise, I wouldn't like so many of you at the same time. I like you, you like me, so we can be together. The truth is simple, the truth is sentimental. That's what it means. Guopai said with a black face. The little girl in front of him was too imaginative. You're bluffing. You're a playboy, but you have so many reasons. Murong Weiwei said with a smile. Let's go somewhere to eat. I promised Ling Mo that I would bring her something delicious. Finally, it's done. This is the bad thing about the human world. Why would the heavens need to explain it to a woman? Guopai said to himself. Weiwei, no matter what happens in a while, don't leave my side. The two of them had a decent dinner together. Murong Weiwei brought some food for Ling Mo in the mall. When she was about to go back, Guopai suddenly whispered in Murong Weiwei's ear. As soon as they walked out of the mall, Guopai's left eye twitched fiercely, and an ominous premonition rushed directly into his heart. Motherf *Ker, it's said that when the gods fight, the common people suffer. I didn't expect that now the gods are involved. Guopai thought to himself. 10 million to kill a middle school student. Haha, this time the organization finally gave a task with a fair price. In a room on the 18th floor of the mall in Wu Castle, a sniper rifle was aimed at the exit of the mall through the window. Bullets, bullets, the target has appeared. Mr. Kong said not to hurt the girl, otherwise we will be in trouble. Got the answer, got the answer. A middle-aged man's voice came to the ears of the young man with the sniper rifle on the 18th floor. Fuck, you can get 3 million just by following a person, but I only get 10 million for killing someone. You even use a voice changer. Bullets said with a trace of honesty, but the crosshair on the rifle was directly aimed at Guopai, who seemed to be unaware. Distance 338 meters, wind speed 22, easterly wind 7. 2 check. The middle-aged man's voice came again from the headset. Shut up, I don't need these. Bullets said loudly into the headset. Goodbye, little guy, 73rd person. After that, Bullets pulled the trigger. Whoosh! A bullet flew toward Guapai's head, but Bullets didn't expect that the moment he pulled the trigger, the target he was aiming at suddenly disappeared from his sight. Oh shit! Bullets, mission failed, retreat, retreat. Chapter 38. Wei, remember, go to the clothing store we passed by just now and buy that expensive sportswear. Then, go out from the other exit of the mall and take a taxi back to school. Guapai said softly with a hint of nervousness, I'm going to meet the guy who shot at us just now. Let's go together. That guy might have wanted to deal with me. Murong Wei said expressionlessly, I'll make a call and then we'll go together. Girl, don't bother the Murong family with such a small matter. You just need to make a call, but who knows how many people will make a fuss about it. Trust me, I'll take care of it. After saying that, Guapai kissed Murong Wei's forehead gently. Promise me you won't get hurt. Murong Wei looked at Guapai and said softly. Don't worry, I dodged the bullet just now. Don't forget, your man has special abilities. After saying that, Guapai turned around and walked into the mall. Kong family good, very good. Murong Wei said softly. Which floor? In the elevator, Guapai asked a middle-aged man in casual clothes who had just entered the elevator with a smile. 7th floor, thank you. The man looked at Guapai and replied with a smile. We've reached the 7th floor. The elevator went down very quickly. It took about 10 seconds to go from the 18th floor to the 7th floor. The moment the elevator door opened, the middle-aged man turned around and looked at Guapai again. Why is it you again? Why aren't you taking the elevator? Are you exercising? At the staircase of the 4th floor, Guapai said with a smile with his back facing the middle-aged man. You're not going to try again? Try again with the Desert Eagle at your waist. That shot just now was too beautiful. Little brother, what do you mean? Did you get the wrong person? The middle-aged man said with a smile. His hand had already reached for his handmade dagger. Bang! The moment the Desert Eagle was taken out, Guapai's exquisite flying sword hit the dagger and sent it flying. Bullet Lu Fei, Sly Sting Alliance, 23 years old this year. 72 attempts, 0 failures. I'm sorry to have let you fail this time, Guapai said with a smile. You, who are you? How do you know all this information? Bullet said loudly. The information of all the assassins in the Sly Thorn Alliance was confidential. Even if there were 2 people working together, they would only know each other's code names. No one would know their real names. You're already prepared to kill me. Do you think I can't know your name? However, you guys are really bad. In your eyes, my life is only worth 10 million, Guapai said with a smile. Tell me, what do you want? I admit defeat, Bullet said loudly. Wang Feifei, 21 years old, a member of Wu Castle City's dancing youth. You should know him, right? Guapai said with a smile. Brat, what do you want to do? Don't talk about women. Bullet went completely crazy. As an assassin, he knew that he could die at any time. However, he made a mistake that assassins should never make. He fell in love with someone. Tell the big boss of the Sly Thorn Alliance that you owe me your life. Tell him to transfer 100 million to this card. Also, tell him to tell the Kong family that we can continue. However, it won't be so easy next time. After saying that, Guapai waved his hand and the flying sword returned to his hand. He then walked out of the staircase leisurely. After about 10 minutes, Guapai stopped a fashionable girl in an alley. Hound Lin Shuang, 17 years old, a member of the Sly Thorn Alliance, Guapai said with a smile. The girl didn't seem to be listening to Guapai at all. This was because she was wearing a big earphone in her ear. What are you doing? Are you trying to hit on me? Go away, the girl said loudly. Lin Bing, 15 years old, a member of Wu Castle Number 1 Middle School. If you want her to pay with her life, then keep walking, Guopai said and turned to leave. How did you know that person was me? The girl stopped and said loudly. I beg you, don't hurt my sister. If you want revenge, I'll give you my life. 30 million. Tell the big boss of the Sly Thorn Alliance that your life is worth 30 million. Just get the money ready. After saying that, Guopai disappeared from the alley. Miss, are you sure that the person who wanted to kill you today was sent by the Kong family? In an old house, Murong Weiwei stood in the middle of the courtyard. An old man asked with concern. I've only seen Kong Yifu today. I don't want to talk about Kong Xian anymore. You guys can do as you see fit, Murong Weiwei said coldly and turned to leave the courtyard. Third Master, what should we do? The old man returned to the house and asked softly in the dark. The massacre 10 years ago was too light. Uncle He, tell Murong Wei that I don't want to get involved with the Murong family. However, if anyone tries to kill my daughter again, I think it's better for me to take over the Murong family, a low voice said. The old man flashed and disappeared from the courtyard. Tell the Kong family that our cooperation with them is terminated. Yes, all of our cooperation is terminated, a middle-aged man said loudly into the phone. Yes, stop the development of the port to the Kong family. If they want to sue us, then let them. The court will side with us anyway. Immediately call for a general meeting. Other than the Kong family, all the members must be present to discuss the decision to remove the Kong family. Tell me, who provoked that girl again? Tell me, who was it? In the Kong family's villa, a white-haired old man shouted. This person was none other than the old master of the Kong family, Kong de Jiang. Grandpa, since you ordered us not to provoke that stinky girl, we stopped all our actions. What happened today was not done by us, a middle-aged man said softly. Yifu, you were the only one who saw that girl today. Was it you? Kong de Jiang stared at his youngest son and asked loudly. I contacted the Sly Thorn Alliance, but the one we wanted to deal with was not that stinky girl. Kong Yifu touched his eyes and said softly. Today, at the teacher's place, she brought a young man to visit the teacher. The teacher liked him very much. I don't feel good about it. Why? Why can't Xiao Xian even have the right to enter the door, while that kid can? Kong Xian said malevolently. So, you contacted the Sly Thorn Alliance to deal with that kid? Kong de Jiang said loudly. We tried to deal with that kid in front of that girl, but she misunderstood that we wanted to deal with her? Yifu, why are you so impulsive when others are impulsive? Kong de Jiang shook his head and said, Dad, is there any way to salvage the situation? Can you tell the Murong family that although we contacted the Sly Thorn Alliance today, the person we killed was not that girl? The current master of the Kong family asked softly. What? You said that the assassin you sent failed? $130 million? Why should I give you this amount of money? Have you gone crazy thinking about money? Kong Yifu suddenly shouted when he received the call. Yifu, what's going on? Kong de Jiang asked softly when he saw his favorite son shouting crazily. Tell everyone in the Kong family to cancel all their recent activities and stay at home. Yifu, go and contact Professor Guo and make things clear. We will pay $130 million and transfer the money to the Sly Thorn Alliance today. Kong de Jiang shook his head and said. Chapter 39. Wei Wei, are you back at school? I've settled everything here. Let me tell you that I'm safe, hee. Guopai settled the matter at hand and gave Murong Weiwei a big call. It's good that you're fine. I'm already at school. If you don't have anything to do, come back early. You still have classes tomorrow. I have to tutor you recently. Otherwise, you will be embarrassed in the one battle preliminaries in a few days. Murong Weiwei said with a smile. Sister Weiwei, that big bad guy called you? Nangong Lingma whispered. A big pervert. You have to be careful. Although I didn't like that big guy Kong Xian before, I don't like this big pervert even more now. Look, there's still butter on my hair. I'm so angry. Nangong Lingmo ran into the bathroom again. When battle preliminaries. There should be a lot of people who are ready to see me make a fool of myself. Guopai took a taxi back to school. There was clearly a spell fluctuation here just now. It must be the mind-reading sage. Where did he go? Not long after Mang Pao left, Yuer appeared at the place where Mang Pao was ambushed. She frowned. Then, she saw a camera facing her. Mind-reading sage, let's see if I can find you this time. Achoo, achoo. Guopai sneezed twice in a row. I don't have any magical power. Otherwise, what's going on? Who's been thinking about me? I can only improvise. Students, there's a new student in our class today. Let's welcome him. A new day had begun. Lin Shuang was a little depressed. There were 16 classes in the first year of high school. Why were all the newcomers in her class? And this new student seemed to be a little tall. Hello everyone, my name is Xue Dezhu. Nice to meet you all. Dezhu stood on the podium and said honestly, some of you should know me. I used to be the chef of the lunatic restaurant. No wonder he looks so familiar. He's really the chef of the lunatic restaurant. The students behind had already begun to discuss. Didn't our affiliated high school not accept students from the back door? It's only been a few days and 2 of them have already come in. What's going on? Lu Gang whispered. This student, I didn't go through the back door. Why don't you test me? I don't like going through the back door, Zhu Zi said honestly. Haha, yes, brother Zhu Zi doesn't like to go through the back door. Qian Duoduo laughed loudly. Student Xue Dezhu, find a seat at the back door. You're too tall, just don't block others. When Lin Shuang heard Qian Duoduo's words, her face darkened. In order to prevent this kid from saying something even more unreliable, she felt that she had to settle Xue Dezhu's matter. Bad master, we will be classmates from now on. Xue Dezhu smiled as he passed by Guopai. Just call me bad guy in the future. This is a school. Be mindful of your image, Guopai said with a smile. Got it, bad guy, Xue Dezhu said with a smile. Bad guy, why are you holding sister-in-law's hand in class? When Xue Dezhu's voice fell, the eyes of the whole class were focused on Guopai and Murong Wei Wei. Murong Wei Wei wanted to pull her hand out of Guopai's hand, but no matter how hard she tried, she couldn't pull it out. When she saw that her classmates were all looking at them, her face turned red. Bad guy brother, you have to prepare well. Otherwise, you will embarrass yourself in the literary battle. Murong Wei Wei said with a smile as she entered the classroom while looking at Guopai. Don't worry. Even if you don't believe me, don't you believe in your own eyes? Guopai said with a smile. I actually started studying last night. If you don't believe me, you can give me a few questions to test me. If you answer incorrectly, you won't be able to see Xiao Shi and the others for a day. Murong Wei Wei whispered, her face turning red. If I answer correctly, then I will hold your hand until the first class today. Guopai said with a smile. Little girl, if you have a question, then ask it. I don't believe that you can ask a question that you don't know the answer to. In less than 3 minutes, Murong Wei Wei asked Guopai 10 questions from last year's literary battle. She didn't expect that Guopai would answer all of them correctly. Just as she was about to continue asking questions, Teacher Lin Shuang came in. Then, Guopai pulled her right hand with a smirk. What are you looking at? Look at what you are all thinking. Student Wei Wei is not feeling well. I am helping Student Wei Wei to take her pulse and treat her illness. Do you understand? Guopai looked at the students around him and said loudly. Student Guopai, if you are done with taking her pulse, please let go. Class is about to start. Lin Shuang looked at Guopai's face that was asking for a beating and said loudly. Wei Wei, is what Guopai said true? If he is bullying you, you can tell me. I will help you. Teacher Lin, I am indeed not feeling well, but I am much better now. Morong Wei Wei said with a red face. Oh my God, what is going on? Morong Wei Wei is such a nice girl. How can she break off her relationship with this big bad guy? Tang Shi, Yu, and Su Yi. This guy already has 3 rumored girlfriends. What is wrong with these girls? Lin Shuang thought helplessly. Have you heard? That guy who is in the limelight at the charity auction got student Morong Wei Wei today. They are actually holding hands in class. Passerby A said loudly. F***CK, it's obvious that you don't know the actual situation. That person's name is Guo Pao. They didn't hold hands, it was Guo Pao who kissed Morong Wei Wei in class and was discovered by Director Shui. Passerby B shouted. What? Morong Wei Wei has been admiring bad guy for a long time. She kissed bad guy forcefully and promised to marry him. Passerby C said softly. Are you there? If you are not, then don't talk. I will tell you the truth. A wretched young man gathered everyone together and whispered. Morong Wei Wei is pregnant with Guo Pai's child. Tang Shi, Yu, and Su Yi are planning a coup in the harem. They are planning to deal with Morong Wei Wei together. Guo Pai is transferring his immortal power to Morong Wei Wei before class to protect the baby. Damn, you are so imaginative. Why don't you write a novel? If you write a novel, it will definitely be better than tomatoes and potatoes. Just like that 9-fingered uncle who has been very popular recently. Someone in the crowd shouted. Yu, did you hear that? When are you going to start the coup in the harem? We can go and watch the show. While a few people were chatting, Yu happened to pass by. A girl smiled and said to Yu, Big bad guy, I'm so angry. Yeezy just sent me a message saying that one of her classmates in class 1 sent her a photo of Morong Wei Wei holding the big bad guy's hand. How dare they be so brazen? Yu said angrily. Ring, ring, ring. As she said that, Yu's phone rang. Guo Pai was leading Morong Wei Wei to the cafeteria. He was about to call out to the other girls, but he didn't expect that Yu was angry. Chapter 40. Bad guy bro, how's the recovery of your immortal power? Yu picked up the phone and spoke in a sweet tone. How did you know? How did you know that I am? Guo Pai was stunned and whispered. No, Yu couldn't have known that I was demoted from the heavenly court. What do you know? Are you with Wei Wei? Can you be more careful? Do you know what everyone is saying about you? Immortal power to protect the fetus. Can you be more careful? After all, I have publicly admitted that you are my boyfriend. Yu said loudly with a hint of shyness and jealousy. Her face was red. I am with Wei Wei and was about to call you and Xiaoxi for dinner. This time, I called you first and you are jealous. Sigh, it's so hard to be a good man. We are waiting for you at 6th Master's restaurant. Hurry up and come. I have something good for you. Guo Pai shook his head and said. Humph, I will deal with you when we meet. Yu hung up the phone after speaking. Guo Pai glanced at Morong Wei Wei. My handsome wife is still the best. She is neither arrogant nor rash. Then, Guo Pai called Xiaoxi. Yi on the other side said that she wanted to drink, so Guo Pai quickly hung up. 6th Master, there are 5 of us. Give us 4 special dishes. Nutritious, very nutritious. Guo Pai shouted as soon as he arrived at the restaurant. Little Yu, I have been waiting for you for 2 days. You are finally here. A few days ago, a few juniors sent a few wild ginseng from Changbai Mountain. I will put it in your goose stew. It will definitely be very nutritious. Ren Xuanzi walked out as he spoke. 6th Master, you are so solicitous for no reason. You just want to drink wine. Su Yi said with a smile. Little girl, look at what you are saying. This old man is already so old. My wine is not for nothing. I will give you a divination later. How about it? Ren Xuanzi said with a slightly red face. Little Yi, you are making 6th Master's face red. Come to Sixth Master's place for dinner. If Sixth Master gives out the dishes, we will give out the wine. This is the rule. You don't understand. Guapai looked at the slightly red little old man and said with a smile. Sixth Master, let's eat together when the dishes are ready. Okay, I will go to the kitchen first. These little guys are careless. Don't waste such good ingredient. Renschwanza walked out of the room as he spoke. Bad, didn't you say you have something good to show us? Take it out. If we are not satisfied, we will criticize you and Wei Wei. You said with a smile. Murong Wei Wei's face turned red when she heard that. I had nothing to do last night, so I made a few pills. Do you guys want to try it? As Guapao spoke, he took out a jade box with a very bad appearance. Clearly, this jade box was made of the same material as the previous one. Big brother bad guy, where did you get these ugly jade boxes? Su Yi pouted. Don't look at the packaging. Little Yi Zi, you have disappointed Big Brother. I thought you would not look at this thing with the eyes of the secular world. In the end, you are the same as the people of the world. Guapai shook his head and said, What a nice way to put it. Let me see what is inside. Su Yi opened the jade box. 4 7-colored pills were floating in the jade box. A fragrance directly hit their nostrils. The 4 beauties suddenly felt a trace of coolness enter their mind. Big brother bad guy, where did you get this thing? Murong Weiwei asked softly. Murong Weiwei had seen pills when she was young. In the Murong family there was a 3-colored pill. It saved the life of Murong Tianwei and the Murong family's ancestor. Weiwei knows this thing? Guapai was stunned and asked with a smile. I saw a 3-colored pill when I was young. I don't know if it is the same as Big Brother Bad Guy's pill. Murong Weiwei whispered. This pill is called the youth-retaining pill. You have all read the novel. Yes, it is the youth-retaining pill mentioned in the novel. It can preserve one's youth forever. Guopai said with a smile. Bullsh *t. I don't know what trick you are playing. Youth-retaining pill? There is no such thing in the world. You said with a smile. But it looks delicious. I will eat one first. If anything happens, you must call the police and arrest this big bad guy. You said. She picked up one and put it in her mouth. I will try one too. Tang she also picked up one and put it in her mouth. I will try it too. If anything happens, you just wait. Su Yi picked up one and put it in her mouth. Weiwei, are you not going to try one? Guopai looked at Murong Weiwei and said with a smile. Big brother bad guy, I want to keep this pill for myself. I am only 16 years old. There is no need for me to eat this. Murong Weiwei said with a smile. Girl, you'll be fine after taking this face-retaining pill. I'll find some time to visit that person from the Murong family. This pill won't be able to save his life. Guopao whispered into Murong Weiwei's ear. Big brother bad guy, how did you know? Murong Weiwei was completely shocked. She wanted to use this 7-colored pill to save her brother. She did not expect Guopai to know what she was thinking. Take this youth-retaining pill. Not only can it preserve one's youth forever, it can also detoxify and prolong one's life. You will know once you take it, Guopai said with a smile. Murong Weiwei nodded gently and put the last pill in the jade box into her mouth. What is this smell? Why is it so comfortable? Little you, what good things do you have now? Let me see. I will not take it for free. I will pay for it. Renschwanza walked in from outside and asked loudly as he smelled the medicinal fragrance in the air. You girls, what did you do? How come you have become prettier after not seeing you for a while? Renschwanza looked at Murong Weiwei and the others and whispered. Bad guy, was the thing you gave us just now really the youth-retaining pill? Yu was the first to react and asked softly. The moment the pill entered her mouth, all the cells in her body seemed to have been activated. That comfortable feeling was 100 times better than drinking Guopai's wine. Big brother bad guy, give me a few more. It is delicious. It is really delicious. Su Yi looked at Guo Pai and said, I want to be your girlfriend too. Give me a few more. Yi Zi, what are you talking about? Stupid girl. Tang Shi pulled Su Yi and whispered, Big brother bad guy, do you have any more? I want a few too. Big wife, little wife, bed warming girl, do you really think these are jelly beans? I almost lost my life by giving each of you one. Let's stop while we are ahead. Guo Pai said with a smile. There were a few left, but teacher Lin Shuang had not given them to him yet. There was still a long way to go in the human world. It was useless to eat a second one. There would be many uses for it in the future. Chapter 41. Big brother bad guy, thank you. Murong Weiwei said in a low voice. Youth retaining pill? What youth retaining pill? Little you, do you have any more? Give me one too. Ren Xuanzi said in a low voice. Cough, cough, cough. Old man, you can't eat that thing. It's for women. Ha ha. Guo Pai coughed a few times and said with a laugh. Serve the food. Hurry up and serve the food. Ren Xuanzi's face turned red when he heard that. He said loudly to the people outside. I'm not going to join you guys. Just let the people behind you serve whatever you want to eat. I'm going to drink. Ren Xuanzi drank 2 small glasses of wine. Guo Pai filled his glass again and walked out of the room leisurely. Big brother bad guy, where did you get this pill? Tang Shi couldn't help but ask again. You'll find out in the future. But don't tell anyone about this. If anyone asks about your changes, just tell them that I gave it to you. Guo Pai said with a smile. You have to wash yourselves clean tonight. There might be some black stuff oozing out of your bodies. Don't worry. Hee, I understand what Big Brother Bad Guy means. Your pill has the effect of cleansing the marrow, right? Su Yi said with a smile. Little Yi Zi, you know a lot. Guo Pai was surprised at first, but then he said with a smile. The meal was very pleasant. Su Yi, Tang Shi, and Yu went to the dormitory. Murong Weiwei stayed behind with a slightly red face. Girl, if you have something to say, just say it. Guo Pai stopped reading minds and looked at Murong Weiwei with a smile. Big brother bad guy, you should know about the Murong family, right? Murong Weiwei said softly. You should have heard about me. Wu Castle's beloved girl, Murong Weiwei. Guo Pai said with a smile. Wu Castle's beloved girl? That's what people called me in the past 2 years. I used to be the previous head of the Murong family, the third master of the Murong family, and the illegitimate daughter of Murong Gu. Murong Weiwei said as she clenched her fists tightly. 15 years ago, something big happened in Wu Castle. The master of the Murong family, Murong Gu, gave up his position to Murong Wei and entered the elder's residence. Later on, it was rumored that Murong Gu had found a mistress behind his wife's back and gave birth to a boy and a girl. Due to the pressure from his family, he had to give up his position. Furthermore, Murong Gu's wife, Nangong Qian, who was also from a large family, had hired people to assassinate the 2 illegitimate children. 6 years ago, I didn't even know who my father was. My mother was a sentimental woman, but she was very strict with my brother and me. That was until that man appeared in front of me. He told me that his name was Murong Gu, and that he was my father. Murong Weiwei said softly. From that day onwards my life changed completely. My brother and I were sent to England to learn etiquette. My mother started to smile, and I started to know what kind of family the Murong family was, and their status in China. At that time, I felt like I had entered the heavens. That was until my brother contracted a strange disease, and my mother got into a car accident. As Murong Weiwei spoke, tears flowed out from the corners of her eyes. Ever since my brother fell ill, Murong Gu has been by my side. He found many people to treat my brother, but my brother was like a living dead. He did not wake up. Murong Weiwei said as she cried. A year ago, when I saw my brother for the last time, a middle-aged man was treating him. I think he was from Hua Xia's special ability group. He told my father that my brother was poisoned, and the only way to cure him was with pills. Before he left, he gave my brother a 3-colored pill to prolong his life. However, if he did not receive treatment in time, my brother would not live past the end of this year. Murong Weiwei's voice became softer and softer. Since it's about my brother-in-law, I will do my best. I will find some time to contact my master and get him an antidote. Little girl, don't cry, Guo Pai said with a smile as he patted Murong Weiwei's head. Really? Bad guy, is what you said true? Murong Weiwei said excitedly. After so many years, this was the happiest day of her life. After this literary battle, take me to see your brother. I will contact my master first, don't worry, Guo Pai said with a smile. What a joke! If a deity could not even cure these poisons from the lower realm, then he might as well die. Bad guy, are you sure you will have no problems with the literary battle? Murong Weiwei looked at Guo Pai and asked softly. Although Guo Pai answered all the questions she asked before class, the literary battle covered a wide range of topics. Anyone could fail miserably. There is still a week. You will know when the time comes, Guo Pai said confidently. Boss, you have been skipping classes recently. Director Shui has looked for you several times. She said that you should go to the teaching office to look for her when you have time. Qian Duoduo said to Guo Pai with a smile as soon as they returned to the dormitory. Got it. Did anything big happen in school recently? Guo Pai asked with a smile. Nothing big. The biggest thing is that there is a bet on Bad Guy's literary battle. If Bad Guy is eliminated in the first round, the odds are 1-1. If he is eliminated in the second round, the odds are 10-1. If he is eliminated in the third round, the odds are 100-1. Brother, if you are able to represent affiliated high school in the finals, the odds are 1000-1. If you are able to represent affiliated high school and win the literary battle, the odds are 100,000-1. Also, the guy who made the bet will run naked in Wu Castle for a week, Qian Duoduo said with a smile. Oh, there is such a talent on the forum. Haha, looks like this guy is going to make a fortune. Get me 1,000,000 forum coins and bet it all on the odds. I want to see if he can afford it, Guo Pai said with a smile. Boss, you are really betting 1,000,000? Qian Duoduo was stunned. The forum coins in affiliated high school were exchanged with cash at a 1:1 ratio and could be used to buy a lot of things. Even the tuition fees and book fees could be paid with the forum coins. 1,000,000 is too much. I am afraid that the guy who started the bet can't afford it, Guo Pai said with a smile. 1,000,000. If Guo Pai represented affiliated high school in the finals, it would be 100 billion. Guo Pai wanted to see what this guy was going to give him. Look, there is a stupid brother B on the forum. He bet 1,000,000 on the odds. Haha. Just when Qian Duoduo helped Guo Pai exchange 1,000,000 forum coins to bet, the whole forum boiled up again. It was much more sensational than when someone bet 10 million on the odds a few days ago. Lao Si, you got another 1,000,000 for free. I really envy you. In a dormitory of affiliated high school, 4 extraordinary teenagers said with a smile. I said at the beginning that you guys can invest. You can do it now, Qin Yulong said with a smile. Really? Lao Si, this is a big cake. Conservatively speaking, you will make at least 100 million this time, Jia Benbin said with a smile. Brothers, you guys didn't go against me when I started the bet. This bet belongs to the 4 of us. When the time comes, we will each get a quarter of the money. But if we lose money, we will all lose a quarter. If you guys agree, I will make an agreement now. We just need to sign it, Qin Yulong said with a smile. Half an hour later, the betting house, which seemed to be a sure win, joined forces with the Qin family, the Jia family, the Mu family, and the Wang family in Marshall City. Chapter 42. Years later, the history of Takashi University affiliated high school would be recorded as follows. A dandy hated by everyone in Wu Castle won the respect of everyone in affiliated high school with his perfect performance. Everyone recorded this person's name as Guopai from Wu Castle. Since the morning, every corner of affiliated high school was filled with a different atmosphere. The top students in the study room, the bad students in the computer room, the loving young men and women in the woods on the field. The library announced that it would be closed for the day, and the students who were on sick leave came back early. In short, all the students and teachers gathered in the school's auditorium, and there were many more people than the previous charity auction. Four Eyes, aren't you going to play LOL today? On the school path, a teenager asked a malnourished student with a smile. I'm out of money, so I bet all my money on young Master Chin. I'm looking forward to that bad guy from Class 1 entering the second round. 10,000 will become 1 million. We'll have plenty of time to play then. The student with glasses pushed up his glasses and said with a smile. Haha, Four Eyes, I think you'll lose your 10,000 to young Master Chin. The teenager said disapprovingly. A man who can conquer the two beauties of Class 6 at the same time, I believe he can create a miracle. Just wait and see. Four Eyes finished speaking and walked quickly to the auditorium. Master Liu, why are you dressed so formally today? The grade 1 history teacher, Shi Yutsai, saw Ren Xuanzi and asked with a smile. Today is the preliminaries of affiliated high school. Little Yu is participating, so I'm going to cheer him on. Ren Xuanzi said with a smile. Yutsai, he seems to be your student. Are you going to cheer him on too? Are you talking about Morong Weiwei or Qian Duo? Both of them are pretty good. They both have a chance to enter the main list of 7. Shi Yutsai said with a smile. Guopai should be able to enter too. Old Shi, that kid is really good. Ren Xuanzi said with a smile. Ahem, Guopai. Yes, he entered the preliminaries late, but he seems to have a hard time. Shi Yutsai coughed a few times and said with a helpless smile. This time, if 3 people enter each class, then you, as a history teacher, will gain a lot of glory. Ren Xuanzi said with a smile. Shi Yutsai thought about Guopai, who slept in history class every day, and couldn't associate him with the word advance. Yi Zi, why are you dressed so beautifully today? In the female dormitory, a good-looking girl looked at Su Yi and smiled. If you can't beat them in terms of answering questions, at least you can beat them in terms of looks. Although Su Yi said this, only Tang Shi knew what she was thinking. Their thoughts were the same. They wanted to use facts to prove that they were not vases. They could use their looks to win, but they still chose to use their wit. Yi Zi, Shaoxi, do your best. If you two enter the competition together, we'll be able to benefit from being in the same dorm as you. Do your best. The girl smiled and said. Su Yi and Tang Shi looked at each other, nodded slightly, and walked towards the auditorium. You do your best. Represent affiliated high school in the competition. We'll meet in the finals. Do your best. 9th High School's number 1 talented girl, Lin Xiao, called Yu. The two encouraged each other, and Yu walked towards the auditorium. Yuzi, what do you think of my clothes? Qian Duo asked with a smile, wearing a slim-fit suit. Brother Duo, your clothes are really good, but you look a little ugly. Look at Bad Master. He's wearing clothes that aren't even worth 200 yuan, but he still looks like a firefly in the dark. Zhu said with a smile. Zhu, when the preliminaries are over, you won't worship bad guy like this. Look, I worship bad guy in other aspects, but why do I feel that bad guy isn't cut out for studying? Qian Duo said with a smile. Bad guy, you've been spending a lot of time in the library recently. Did you get anything? Something? Of course. There are more than 300,000 books and I basically understand the content. No matter what, I have to enter the competition. I bet 1 million on myself, Guopai said with a smile. Bad Master, you have to do your best. I bet 13,000 yuan on you, and it's the same 1 to 100,000 payout. If you don't enter the competition, I'll have to drink beifong. Zhu Zi said with a smile. Follow bad guy and don't ask about what you eat or drink. Let's go. Today, let affiliated high school see the glory of bad guy. Guopai said with incomparable charm. In fact, he wanted to let the lower realms see the glory of the great immortals of the heavenly court. Teacher Lin, 3 students from your class entered the preliminaries. That's amazing. It seems that 2 of them are seeded contestants. A young and handsome male teacher said with a smile. Your class is not bad either. Su Yi and Tang, she should be able to enter the competition. Lin Shuang said with a smile. The male teacher in front of her was the form teacher of Class 6, Song Bujing. In the eyes of outsiders, he was a young and handsome man with a good family background. However, Lin Shuang knew that this man was much more disgusting than the 4 pests of Wu Castle. The 4 pests of Wu Castle were at most flirtatious. This Song Bujing, once someone had anything to do with him, would cause trouble sooner or later. But I'm afraid there's something wrong with that scoundrel Guo in your class. I don't know how the students chose him to be a contestant in the preliminaries. For a playboy to participate in such a competition, it's the school's democracy, to put it nicely. But to put it bluntly, it's a disgrace to the school, Song Bujing said loudly. Isn't it a disgrace to the school for a teacher to speak ill of a student behind his back? Guopai, Qian Duoduo, and Zhu Zi happened to meet Lin Shuang and Song Bujing. Guopai narrowed his eyes and looked at Song Bujing. Ahem, Teacher Lin, I'll leave first. I still have something to do over there. Song Bujing looked up and saw Guopai looking at him with a smirk. He then ran away with a red face. Bad master, why didn't you let me teach him a lesson? Zhu Zi said loudly. Such a teacher is a disgrace to the affiliated high school. I once saw him kissing a girl in a lunatic restaurant. Trash, what a trash teacher. I'll teach him a lesson sooner or later. Hee, Guopai said with a smile. Teacher Lin, don't tell me you're like that trash and think that I'm a disgrace to the school. You're my student. Do your best. I hope I can be proud of you. Lin Shuang looked at Guopai and said solemnly. Teacher, why don't you give me some motivation? For example, if I can enter the main competition, you can give me a kiss or treat me to a meal or something. Maybe if I'm excited, I can really enter the main competition, Scoundrel Guo said shamelessly. If you enter the competition with your ability, I'll treat you to a meal. Lin Shuang looked at her student and said with a smile. I'll treat you to a big meal. I'll bet all my money on you. Lin Shuang didn't know why she would bet $50,000 on Guopai's bet with the highest odds. Haha, Teacher Lin, just wait for your money. As he said that, Guopai actually reached out and touched Lin Shuang's butt. Qian Duoduo and Zhu Zi, who were beside him, widened their eyes. I didn't do it on purpose. I'm used to it. I touched it wrongly. Guopai also felt that something was wrong. He ran into the auditorium as fast as he could. I'm used to it. I touched it wrongly. Be ***, just you wait. If you don't enter the competition, I'll teach you a lesson. Chapter 43. Miss Lin, if I can enter the competition, can you kiss me and give me some motivation? Qian Duoduo said while looking at Lin Shuang lecherously. Scram, I'm telling you, Qian Duoduo, if you can't enter the competition, then scram. I don't want a pervert like you in my class, you bastard. Lin Shuang shouted and Qian Duoduo ran away. Hee, Miss Lin, if you marry me, you'll be my wife. But that's not bad, at least you'll be in the top 10. Shuedezhu said with a smile. F***ck off, Shuedezhu. I'm telling you, if Scoundrel Guo doesn't make it into the main competition, you can go back to cooking, Lin Shuang shouted at the honest Shuedezhu. Wait for me, Miss Lin said that if you can enter the competition, she'll be your wife. Shuedezhu shouted and caught up with Guopai. At 9 o'clock in the morning, the whole auditorium was full of people, even the aisles were full of people. Look, there are a few people in uniforms, they're from Wu Castle number 1 middle school. The 3 handsome guys and 4 beautiful girls are from number 7 middle school. That one is from Sunshine Middle School. The one with long hair is Lin Xiao from number 9 middle school. She's so pretty, she's comparable to Tang Shi and Yi Zi. A wretched teenager in the crowd pointed at a place not far away and said to the people around him, Sister Xiao Xiao, look at the quality of these people from affiliated high school. They're really uncultured. I don't know why the teacher asked us to watch their preliminaries. It's the same no matter who enters the competition. That perverted Kong Xian let Murong Weiwei win the first place in the martial arts competition. Murong Weiwei alone can't win the first place in the literary competition. A boy beside Lin Xiao said softly. Yunshang, affiliated high school is not simple. Think about it, affiliated high school has your sister Yu. That day, Yu said that Tang Shi and Su Yi were on par with her. There's also Qian Duo who repeated a year. He's a genius. This time, our opponent is still affiliated high school. Lin Xiao said softly. Lin Xiao, don't tell me that no one from 9th high school has registered as a member of Affiliated High's forum. This time, Affiliated High actually made Guopai from 9th high school a qualifier. Do you still think Affiliated High is the same as before? This time, the first place will come from your 9th high school and our Sunshine High School, a good-looking teenager said loudly, ignoring the gazes of the surrounding affiliated high school students. Haha, Xiaomu, don't think that you can take first place this time just because your Sunshine Middle School managed to poach a top student. The first place this time belongs to our Wu Castle Middle School. A fatty who was 1.6 meters tall and weighed 160 pounds looked at Sunshine High School's Xiaomu and said loudly, Q, when the time comes, you'll know the difference between number 1 middle school and our Sunshine Middle School. It's just like the difference between your height and mine. As long as you're not blind, you'll be able to tell, Xiaomu said with a smile. Really? Xiaomu, it seems like you're quite a bit taller than me. Not far away, a youth wearing a baseball cap stood up and said, 7th High School's Li Ao, nicknamed Computer. After 7th High School's preliminaries ended, the Wu Castle Daily News wrote these words in large letters in the literature section. In terms of personal ability, this Li Ao was indeed better than Xiaomu. Li Ao, if I remember correctly, you should have also applied for the affiliated high school back then. How come you weren't accepted? Otherwise, we wouldn't have come today. With you, Li Ao, leading the affiliated high school, we can't compare, haha, the fatty named Aq said with a smile. After hearing Aq's words, everyone's gaze landed on Li Ao. Li Ao's nickname was Computer. People who were too smart would always do stupid things. After the middle school entrance examination, Li Ao directly hacked into the examination system of the high school affiliated to Renmin University of China with his computer skills and changed his score from 990 to 999. He defeated Nangong Lingma and became the first. However, before the notice was sent out, he was reported, and in the end, he had no chance to become a student of the affiliated high school. Fatty, if you want to die, I don't mind sending you on your way. Li Ao didn't say anything, but a guy in camouflage who didn't seem to fit in with everyone in the auditorium stepped forward. 7 High School's Black Dog. Sounds of discussion came from the crowd again. Aq looked at the murderous black dog and squatted down on his seat without saying a word. The back of his shirt was drenched in sweat. Stop fooling around, the affiliated high school's qualifiers are about to start, Lin Xiao said to smooth things over. Everyone's eyes were focused on the rostrum in the auditorium. The qualifiers for the affiliated high school's Chinese language battle is about to start, so I won't ask for anything else. Everyone must turn off their phones and don't make any noise, especially you students from other schools. If you don't follow the rules of the affiliated high school, then you can just get out. You don't dare to play the qualifiers, but we do, Li Xuanyu said loudly on the rostrum, dressed in a Chinese tunic suit. Cough, cough, cough. Principal, you're drunk again today. A few students in the front row said with black lines on their faces. They were sitting below the rostrum and could clearly smell the strong smell of alcohol. Let's start, let the qualifiers come on stage, Li Xuanyu said loudly. What are you waiting for? Where's the applause? Oh no, I only prepared 28 seats. There are 29 contestants in the preliminaries today, and I forgot about the kid who came in later. Seeing the contestants coming in one by one, Minister Jia of the Logistics Department of the affiliated high school panicked. One seat was missing. Guopai, right? These seats are all custom-made. You haven't got your seat yet, so you can sit here first, Jia Yuntao said to Guopai while pointing at an ordinary wooden stool. Sure, I'm a substitute anyway, so I can sit anywhere, Guopai said with a smile, looking at the defeated Jia Yuntao. What the hell? Why is my fourth brother's seat different from the others? Today was such a big event. Li Yao went to the US and couldn't come. Wang Xing also couldn't come because he was in the government, but Jia Yuan came because he had nothing to do. Jia Yuntao, Jia Yuan's uncle. But in Jia Yuan's words, I don't like you. Little fatty, what are you shouting for? He's just a substitute. It's good enough that he has a seat, Li Xuanyu said to Jia Yuan, still a little tipsy. Old man, no matter what, I'm still one of the sponsors of the one-fight competition. I should do something about this, Jia Yuan said, not backing down. This is the affiliated high school. I'm the boss here. I have the final say. If you don't like it, scram, Li Xuanyu said loudly. Old man, you win. After saying that, Jia Yuan sat down on the chair. Damn it, he was defeated in the affiliated high school. Let's start. The first round, 100 questions must be answered. After Li Xuanyu said that, the computers in front of the 28 contestants began to flash with questions. Student Guo Scoundrel, use this. The questions are all questions from the question bank. You must pass the first round of the exam. I have bet 100,000 yuan on you. Jia Yuntao said as he handed Guopai a laptop and asked someone to bring a small table up. Chapter 44. Everyone's eyes fell on the 29 people on the stage. They were familiar with some of them, such as Guopai, Murong Weiwei, Tang Shi, Su Yi, and Yu Yu. Of course, there were also Qinan, Pang Xian, and Li Gu, who they were not familiar with. However, the most surprising one was not Guopai, but Nangong Lingma, the mysterious person who had never been to a classroom since entering the school. That person is Nangong Lingma. Why is she so young? Is she also a high school student? The girl next to Lin Xiao whispered. Nangong family. The affiliated high school affiliated to Renmin University of China sure hides her, Li Ao said softly. So what if she's from the Nangong family? This is a literary competition, not something else, Aq said softly. Let's look at the preliminaries. Li Xuanyu is indeed extraordinary, the principal of 7 High School said softly. Qiao Mu, do you still have the confidence to beat the contestants of the affiliated high school affiliated to Renmin University of China? After watching for about 30 minutes, Lin Xiao asked Qiao Mu, whose forehead was covered in sweat. The affiliated high school affiliated to Renmin University of China must have set up a question bank. Otherwise, how could these students answer questions that would not appear in last year's competition? There must be something wrong, Qiao Mu said softly. Qiao Mu said softly. He realized that he could not answer nearly 20% of the questions that were scrolling on the screen quickly. They don't have a question bank. They picked the 10,000 questions with the highest error rate from the Supreme Optical Computer. The principal of 9 High School, Chao Xinglong, said softly. Oldly wants to take first place in the literary competition too. Old Chow, let's sit down together after the preliminaries of the affiliated high school affiliated to Renmin University of China. You don't want to see us suffer in front of Old Li twice in a row, right? The principal of Sunshine High School said with narrowed eyes. Chao Xinglong nodded. Then, the principals and leaders of the other schools also formed an alliance with 7 high school and 9 high school. Where there were grudges, there would be Jianghu. It was the same everywhere. The screen behind the rostrum was playing the questions that appeared on the computers of the 28 contestants on the stage. In the first round of the competition, the first 20 contestants to complete 100 random questions, with a 10-second penalty for each wrong question, would advance to the next round. Beep. The red light in front of Nangong Lingma lit up, which meant that the inconspicuous girl in front of him had completed the first 100 questions. After about a minute, the light in front of Murong Wei Wei lit up with a beep. Next was the light in front of Qian Duo. Qian Duo's red light lit up. He glanced at Guopai, who was not far away, and muttered to himself, "Damn, bad guy seems to be here for a walk. Why is he still typing on the keyboard? He doesn't seem to be doing any questions. Why is he typing so fast? What is bad guy bro doing? 9 people have already finished, why isn't he done yet?" Murong Weiwei frowned and said softly, "Little Shi, baddie is probably going to be eliminated in the first round. Your $10,000 is going to be wasted," Su Yi whispered to Tang Shi, who was the 7th to finish. "Fourth brother, you should prepare to collect the money. That Guopai is still doing the questions. He has already completed 22 questions. I don't think he can even pass the first round, haha," Jia Benbin said with a smile. "Look at what second brother is saying. I'm not the one preparing to collect the money, we are the ones preparing to collect the money," Qin Yulong said with a smile. By the time the preliminaries started, the total amount of bets had already exceeded 1.3 billion. If Guo Pao was unable to enter the first round, then this money would belong to the 4 brothers. After about 5 minutes, the red lights of the 28 people on the stage were all lit up. Student Guo Pao was still typing rapidly on the keyboard. Cough, cough, cough. "Guo Pai, are you still not done?" A female student who was serving the preliminaries walked to Guo Pai's side and asked softly. "There are too many questions," Guo Pai said loudly as he typed on the keyboard. Principal Li, please come up here. There is a problem with Guo Pai's computer," the female student said loudly to Li Xuanyu, who had already entered a light sleep. "What problem? If he doesn't know how to do it, then he will be eliminated. Hurry up and enter the next round." "What problem can there be?" Li Xuanyu said impatiently. "4 eyes, I saw it. Your idol." Everyone else had finished the first round of questions, but he still hadn't finished. Even the last person who could only answer half of the questions correctly took less time than your idol. The young man looked at 4 eyes and said with a smile, "Your 10,000 yuan was wasted. What is this brat doing? No matter how difficult the questions are, he should be able to complete 100 questions if he skipped them." Lin Shuang couldn't help but stand up and walk up to the stage. "Principal Li, come up quickly. There is a problem with Guo Pai's computer." Lin Shuang was completely stunned when her gaze landed on Guo Pai's computer. "Little Lin, Guo Pai is a student of your class. However, this is the preliminaries. No one is allowed to enter through the back door," Li Xuanyu said as he walked up to the stage. "Jia Yuntao, get over here," Li Xuanyu shouted after glancing at Guo Pai's computer. "Director Jia, I think the principal is calling for you," an employee of the logistics department said softly to Jia Yuntao, who was already asleep. "Principal, why are you looking for me?" When Jia Yuntao heard the 2 words principal, no one would have expected him to jump up to the stage. It really proved that a cornered dog would do something desperate. "Jia Yuntao, is this how your logistics work?" Li Xuanyu said with his eyes wide open. "There is no automatic alarm on this computer," Jia Yuntao said softly. his face almost touching the floor. Do as you see fit. If you mess up this preliminaries, you can pack up and leave. After saying that, Li Xuanyu walked down from the stage. Old man Li, what are you doing? The first round of the competition is over. Announce the results, Chao Xinglong shouted rudely. The first round is over. I will now announce the names of the contestants who will enter the next round. After about 10 minutes, the time of all the contestants in the first round of the preliminaries was calculated. Class 7's Li Gu, 24 minutes 13 seconds. Class 11's Qin Feng, 23 minutes 59 seconds. Class 9's Wang Yuan, 23 minutes 57 seconds. Class SIXS Su Yi, 18 minutes 11 seconds. Class 9's Yu Yu, 18 minutes 6 seconds. Class SIXS Tang Shi, 17 minutes 45 seconds. Class 1's Qian Duo, 15 minutes 37 seconds. Class 1's Murong Weiwei, 15 minutes 10 seconds. Class 16's Nangong Lingma, 14 minutes 14 seconds. Jia Yuntao read out 19 names and times in one breath. Since the top 20 contestants are out, let's start the second round, Chao Xinglong said loudly. Old Chao, we have only read out 19 names. Look at the screen, there is one more, the principal of Sunshine High School reminded with a smile. The first place of the first round is Class 1's Guopai, 9 minutes 48 seconds. After saying that, Jia Yuntao did not care about the commotion below the stage. He directly asked the 8 eliminated students to leave the stage and let Guopai sit on a seat on the stage. Chapter 45. Teacher Jia, are you saying that our affiliated high school is so blatant about taking the back door? Qin Yulong stood up and questioned the rostrum loudly. Guopai was number 1? How was that possible? Everyone in Wu Castle knew what kind of person Guopai was. Wu Castle was one of the 4 pests, ignorant and incompetent. How was it possible for him to take first place in the first round of the preliminaries? Moreover, if Guopai entered the second round, it would mean that the 1.3 billion forum coins would become 300 million in an instant. Completing 100 questions in less than 10 minutes, that's an average of 6 seconds per question. Not all of the questions here are multiple-choice questions, so it's simply impossible, Xiao Mu said loudly from below the stage. Haha, Li Xuanyu, aren't you going to step up and explain? Could it be that this Guopai is your illegitimate son? You're actually shielding him in public like this, haha. The principal of number 1 middle school laughed loudly. Jia Yuntao, did you settle it? Li Xuanyu glared at Jia Yuntao and questioned loudly. Director Jia, let me explain to everyone. Lin Shuang looked at the shouting Jia Yuntao and the questioning voices from below the stage. However, Guopai's laptop was directly connected to the big screen. Everyone, please be quiet. Let me explain why Guopai's result is 9 minutes and 48 seconds, Lin Shuang said with a smile. Beautiful teacher, we know that Guopai is a student in your class, but you can't shield him, Jia Benben said loudly. Let me finish. If you have any objections, you can raise them again, Lin Shuang said with a smile. Everyone, please take a look. In less than 30 minutes, Guopai completed a total of 3,128 questions. After the system's verification, 3,124 questions were correct and 4 questions were wrong. According to the average result, Guopai's time is 9 minutes and 48 seconds. Teacher Lin, it's not right for you to calculate like that. The 1 million required answers for the first round is based on the first 100 questions. You can't calculate it based on the average result, right? Jia Benben said unyieldingly. The 1.3 billion suddenly became 300 million. Everyone would lose 250 million. No one could accept it. This student, if you want to see the speed of Guopai's first 100 questions, you can look here. 8 minutes and 32 seconds, not a single question wrong. Do you have any objections? Lin Shuang said with a smile. She glanced at the nonchalant Guopai. This guy was actually chatting happily with a female volunteer beside him. Lin Shuang was so angry that her lips curled upwards. What's the topic? The questions of the people on the stage are all very difficult, but Guopai's questions are simple. That must be it. Jia Benben shouted again. For him, he could only answer about 30% of the questions on the screen. He didn't believe that a playboy like Guopai could answer more questions than him. There must be something wrong with the questions. These are Guopai's questions just now. All the students, please look at the screen. The elites and principals of the other high schools are also here. You can see if these questions are easier than the ones of the 28 people just now. Lin Shuang randomly selected the more than 3,000 questions that Guopai had answered and displayed them one by one on the screen. Old Manly, this student's answer is correct. You guys can continue. Congratulations, I didn't expect the affiliated high school affiliated to Renmin University of China to have such a student. Li Xuanyu, you're really good, Chao Xinglong said loudly. Little girl Lin, come down. Get ready for the second round of the competition. Li Xuanyu looked at the deflated faces of the principals behind him and felt very happy. Wu Castle was one of the four evils, and no one would dare to accept him. But as you can see, in the affiliated high school, he has become a talent. The questions will flash on the screen. Students who know the answers, press the button. Everyone will be given 100 points. If you answer a question correctly, you will gain 3 points. If you answer a question incorrectly, 3 points will be deducted. After 200 questions, the total score will be calculated. The top 14 students will enter the third round, the host said. How long is one light year? 9,460 billion kilometers. When a person's foot is pierced by a rusty nail, a tetanus antitoxin injection can prevent tetanus. What kind of immunity is this? Artificial immunity. Why is there no live hairtail for sale in the market? When a hairtail is caught, it dies immediately due to the huge pressure change. Among the sensory organs of birds, what is the first organ to degenerate? Smell. Who wrote The Prince, a landmark work in the development of modern political science? Italy, Machiavelli. What are the 3 words and 2 pats? 3 words. Words to the world, words to warn the world, and words to awaken the world. 2 pats. The first pat's on the case and the second pat's. The first pat's on the case and the second pat's on the case. What are the 4 great romance dramas of the Yuan dynasty? Guan Hanqing's The Moon Pavilion, Wang Shifu's The Romance of the Western Chamber, Bai Pu's The Horse at the Top of the Wall, and Jing Guangzhu's A Chinese Soul Departed. In the first 100 questions, apart from Murong Weiwei who snatched 3 questions, Nangong Lingma who snatched 3 questions, Tang Shi who snatched 1 question, and Su Yi who snatched 1 question, the remaining 92 questions were like a host asking and answering student Guopao, ending the first 100 questions in the first half. Ahem, let me say a few words. Guopai, you don't have to answer the remaining 100 questions. I declare that you have passed the second round. After the first 100 questions, Guopai scored 376 points, Nangong Lingma scored 109 points, Murong Weiwei scored 109 points, Su Yi and Tang Shi scored 103 points, and the rest of the students still scored 100 points. Everyone in the auditorium was stunned. This was the first time in the history of Wu Castle affiliated high school that such a preliminary round had been held. Since I'm in the second round, I won't participate in the remaining questions. Guopai smiled and sat down on the chair, slowly closing his eyes in front of everyone. Humph, bad guy, he must have used his supernatural ability. Nangong Lingma looked at Guopai with disdain and muttered carefully. You think I need to use my supernatural ability in such a competition? You're underestimating me. Before Nangong Lingma could finish his sentence, he saw Guopai, who had closed his eyes, open his eyes again. He looked at him with a smile, and a clear voice appeared in his mind. Haha, bad guy, you can do it. No matter what your final result is, you're still my idol. I won't play LOL anymore, I'll follow you, brother. He shouted towards the rostrum as he looked at the young man who was laughing at him. Lao San, hurry up and come to the auditorium. You won't be able to see it if you're late. Jia Yuan dialed Wang Xing's number and said excitedly. Bullsh *T meeting. Come and see Lao Si's heroic performance. He's crazy, I'll find time to get hit by a car. Lao Si, if this guy really represents affiliated high school in the competition and wins first place, how much money do we have to pay? Jia Benben looked at the pale Qin Yulong and asked softly. 100 billion, we have to pay at least 100 billion. Even if we put all our assets on the line, it's still not enough, Qin Yulong shook his head and said. Chapter 46. Old Chow, do you want to continue watching? The principal of Sunshine High School looked at Chow Xinglong and said softly. He was completely convinced by Guapai's performance on the stage. If the first round of the competition could have been faked, the first half of the second round was not something that could be faked. Yes, we must continue watching. I want to see how many hidden cards affiliated high school has up their sleeve. Old Manly actually made a playboy look like this. Amazing, I'm ashamed of my own inferiority. Chow Xinglong said loudly. After a 3-minute break, the second round of the one-battle preliminaries continued. Guapai closed his eyes, as if he had entered a state of sleep. The 100 questions in the second half were much more intense than the first 100 questions. All 19 of them got the chance to answer the questions and the atmosphere was very good. However, those from the other schools were ashen-faced because the difficulty of the second round of questions had already surprised them. We have worked hard for a year, are we going to waste just like that? No, there must be a way to deal with affiliated high school. Chow Xinglong looked at his proud disciples lowering their heads one by one and roared in his heart. Congratulations to Murong Weiwei for answering question 199 correctly. Although the top 10 have been decided, I still hope that all of us can fight for the last question with all our might. The host said with a smile. That's right, the difference between the 10th and 11th place was already 6 points. No matter who got the last question, the top 10 had already been decided. The last question, please state the names of the 28 mansions and the attributes of the 5 elements. After the host finished speaking, the people on the stage suddenly quieted down. 28 mansions, no one could guarantee that they would not miss a single one. Damn, the preliminaries questions of affiliated high school are too difficult. Is there something wrong with affiliated high school? It's not too much to put this question at the end of the competition. The people below the auditorium began to discuss. Is no one answering this question? It's okay if you get it wrong, you can try. The host said with a smile, his gaze falling on the top few. Originally, this question only required one name of each of the 5 elements of the 28 mansions. However, Li Xuanyu said that he could not let these kids be arrogant, so he had to make it difficult. Great, now there was an awkward silence. If no one answers, then this question will be taken as a forfeit. The host said with a hint of awkwardness. This kind of question isn't enough for us to give up. Just as the host was about to announce the end of the second round, Guapai, who seemed to have fallen asleep, slowly stood up and said, could it be that this kid can answer this question correctly? Or do you want to try and name a few to save some face for the affiliated high school affiliated to Renmin University of China? Li Ao said to himself. Eastern Azure Dragon. Hornwood Jiao Kong Gold Dragon D Earth Raccoon Fong Sun Rabbit Heart Moon Fox Tail Fire Tiger Winnowing Basket Water Leopard. Southern Vermilion Bird. Wellwood Snake Ghost Golden Goat Willow Earth Deer Star Sun Horse Extended Moon Deer Winged Fire Snake Chariot Waterworm. Western White Tiger. Kuewood Wolf Lu Jean Dog Stomach Earth Pheasant Plum Sun Chicken Bayou Black Snake Fire Monkey Ginseng Water Ape. northern black tortoise. Dumu bull golden ox female earth bat sun rat wei you fire pig wall water deer. Guopai said loudly. Every time he said a name, Guopai's heart trembled slightly. Back then, these people were all his drinking friends. They hadn't even seen him off half a month ago. How could he not remember their names? Got it right? Did that kid get it right? The answer had to wait for the host to reveal it. Guopai answered so quickly that the host was still looking at the answer in his hand. Ba ba ba. Could it be that this bad guy's supernatural ability is X-ray vision? Can he see the answer in the host's hand clearly? Nangong Lingma looked at the excited Guopai and thought to himself. Bad guy bro got it right. Murong Weiwei heard Guopai's words and said softly. If she was the one to answer, she might also get it right. However, she would not have thought that Guopai could answer so smoothly. What method did Li Xuanyu use to make such a playboy become like this? Am I really not as good as Li Xuanyu? Chao Xinglong looked at Guopai and said softly. A few months ago, this playboy was still a student in his school. He skipped classes, no, he didn't attend classes, flirted with female classmates, beat up teachers, beat up students, set a fire, and gathered outlaws outside the school. A kid who was full of all 5 kinds of evildoers had changed after entering the affiliated high school affiliated to Renmin University of China. Host, did he get it right? Did my 4th brother get it right? Jia Yuan heard Guopai's answer. He could name 2 or 3 of the 28 lunar mansions. If this brother of his could really answer such a question that even the geniuses of affiliated high school couldn't answer, then it would be interesting. Congratulations to student Guopai for getting it right. The host said loudly. After a 10-minute break, we will start the 3rd round of the competition. Haha, the 4 evils of Wu Castle. Did you see that? This is the 4 evils of Wu Castle that you guys were talking about. The Wu Castle's Guopai who eats, drinks, prostitutes, gambling, and smoke. Do you see that? How many of you are not as good as this bad guy? What right do you have to talk about him? Jia Yuan stood up and said loudly. The 4 evils of Wu Castle. Soldier King Li Yao, Ghost Merchant Jia Yuan, Hero Wang Xing, and Guopai, the 5 evils. Because the 4 of them had a common disease, which was lust. As the rumors spread, the 4 of them were described as malignant tumors. Although Li Yao, Jia Yuan, and Wang Xing didn't say anything, they were more or less helpless about this younger brother of theirs. Now, the 5 evils, Guopai, was able to suppress all of them. What? Is that Guopai really the Guopai of the 4 evils of Wu Castle? The students who had only heard of the 4 evils before now had their eyes on Guopai. Bad guy bro, how many grievances have you suffered? Murong Weiwei thought about Guopai's past and present, and unconsciously shed tears. Guopai. Good, very good. That's the guy who flirted with me and you back then. He really hid it well. Lin Xiao looked at Guopai on the stage and said to herself. Contact the Anthony family in America and ask them to send out their best assassins. This guy can't be left alive. I want him dead. The woman at the top of Wu Castle shouted into the phone. A man wearing a cap in the corner of the auditorium gently turned off the phone that was recording. He raised his head and looked at Guopai on the stage again, then turned around and walked out of the auditorium. No, we can't let this guy pass the 3rd round. We can't let him represent Fu Zhong in the main competition. If Fu Zhong wins 1st place under his leadership, our 4 families won't be able to pay him back even if we put up all our asset. Qin Yulong looked at Guopai and murmured. Qin Yulong, you were the one who made the bet. It has nothing to do with the 3 of us. If you want to pay, you have to pay yourself. We'll break the contract. Since it's not the finals yet, we'll pay you 100 million each. Then our contract won't count. Jia Benben said loudly. The 2 young men who had been silent all this time nodded gently. Are we brothers? Are we brothers? He hasn't passed the 2nd round yet, and you're telling me this. Did I say anything when I was making money? Qin Yulong was blind. Qin Yulong looked at his 3 sworn brothers and his heart turned cold. If Guo Pai passed the 3rd round and represented Fu Zhong in the main competition and won 1st place, he would choose to commit suicide. He had already prepared for the worst. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.